Live from Old Trafford, full match commentary on Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur.
Keeping an eye for you today as well on all the other action around the country that matters. Obviously, we'll be having regular updates from Highbury. Arsenal against Aston Villa, letting you know how the Gunners are getting on in the other half of the Premiership equation, and giving you the goal news first and fastest from the other games, keeping an eye on that second division playoff match as well between Preston and Gillingham. Here's the Liverpool side that take on Wimbledon at Anfield. The last Liverpool game for Steve McManaman, of course, as Liverpool make one change. Rigobert Song in for Steve Gerrard. Friedel in goal, Song, Carragher, Staunton and Matteo the back four, Leonardson, Redknapp, Berger in midfield, McManaman and Riedler up front, with Babb, Hegem, Björneby, Thompson and David James on the bench. But what a season it has been for Manchester United, for Northwest football, but particularly for United, as they, even at this late stage, still harbour these dreams of this unique, unprecedented treble. The players out away to our left-hand side warming up, and let's warm up ourselves for the big match by reliving some of the special moments over season 1998-99.
Century 105 Sport. So good, you'll think you're there.
No matter what they tell us, no matter what they do.
August.
Beckham will take it now, right foot in, bends it just into the top left-hand corner.
September.
York on the edge of the penalty area, trying to knock one in, and then a shot comes in from distance. Over Mars, chipped over the top, Lundberg is through on goal, and knocked it in from the third. Arsenal have rolled over Manchester United this afternoon. Right across the edge of the air, still on pitch, goal!
October.
Topic to goal for 2-0. Manchester United double their lead in the most emphatic way. Turns it down his back, Andy Cole, goodbye finish. And United get a finish. Beckham, Blomqvist, stays onside into the penalty area. Gets for Blomqvist for his first United goal. Brilliant hit out by Myra. And he's hit her in. It's 4-1.
November.
Little turn ball by Cole to Scholes. York is there as well. Back to Scholes into the penalty area. Can United finish the move off? Oh, they can! What a magnificent goal from Scholes! Here's York pushing forward towards the edge of the box. Still Dwight York goes. Good ball left-hand side. Solskjaer across the face and goal! And in! 1-1! Played inside the penalty area. Key! 2-1! 22 seconds into the second half. Phil Neville once more onto his right foot. Shape to shoot, then threads in. Batu! Oh. Golga, 3-2 to United.
December.
Cole running in Gareth Barry. Still Cole has it. Drills it across. Punch clear, half punch clear. On his far and scores! Block his left-footed ball inside the box. Good break for Scholes. Good break for Butts. Good break for goal! Andy Cole in first half injury time. But to goal inside the penalty area. Cole tries to turn. He goes back. They score! 2-3! They've got two of them back in the space of 10 minutes. Sheringham's beaten the trap with a sensible run from deep. Scholes makes her run towards the edge of the area. Picked up by Beckham. The kick. Wonderful for one. Wonderful goal. Absolutely sensational.
Stuck on my shot, it's on that ball. Stick him in the mouth and stuck him.
January.
Jude York plays the ball in. Kick. His shot came out denied him. Attack towards goal. Looping header into the net once more. And Solskjaer with his first touch has scored. United fourth. Blomqvist beats it out towards the left-hand side for Irwin. Left towards Dwight York. Far post. 1-0 United. Could have missed. York had all the time in the world. Cole breaks forward at the other end and scores. York plays in Cole. Cole right outside of the area. Oh, he doesn't miss this one. York has got round Keller. Oh, what a magnificent finish. Oh, that is quite sublime from Dwight York. Cole will be able to get it on the back of Jerry Taggart's awful back header. Andy Cole on a hat-trick. Andy Cole hits the bar. York got a hat-trick. 5-2 to United. United. Beckham swings inside the area, right-footed. Could break for Stam. Oh, that sets the seal on it. Yep, Stam's first goal for Manchester United. Scholes towards the edge of the penalty area. Paul Scholes trying to find a way through. Chips it in, York's header. Yes! Dwight York for United.
February.
Butt plays it forward over the top, the flag stays down. York brings it down! Sensational! Chip back in by Keane, left towards the edge of the penalty area. Right for it, ball in, 1-0! Well, it took no more than 84 seconds. High ball over the top. Cole chases. Cole's got goal side. 2-1. Cole tries to get on the end of York's quick ball over the top. York will shoot from distance. Spilled. York, the goal. To 3-1 to United. A block this will just pull the ball back. Oh, it's such a simple goal for Dwight York. Becker to Gary Neville. Gary Neville across the edge of the 6-yard box. 5-1 to United.
I think it was Solskjaer who got the final touch.
Presence outside his area. Solskjaer, what a finish. Great ball flicked on inside the area. 7-1 to United. And Ole Solskjaer, who's come on as a substitute, has got a 10-minute hat-trick. Still United have it. But plays the ball back across. Could break for Solskjaer. Still could break for Solskjaer. 8-1. Phil Neville turning inside. Right-footed ball. Swings down the box. Goal! And the goal! Gets the equaliser for United. Solskjaer near post, goes up into the flick and it kicks far post. Oh, it's in! Right, it kicks nothing at the far post from Solskjaer's not down. York in the centre, the flag stays down. York tries to control it, he's got so much time. Jones comes out and has lost it. And Dwight York steals the victory.
March.
Berg flips the ball in, the volley towards goal. Cole's in there! Equalises for Manchester United. Giggs, left-hand corner of the penalty area. Left-footed ball swung in. What a magnificent goal by Manchester United. That is truly brilliant. Beckham's ball for Giggs, brilliant. Giggs' ball for Cole, brilliant. Cole's finish routine. Gary Neville, good play in once more. Solskjaer! 1-0 to Manchester United. Cole in the centre. York turns inside his man and plays it. Gary Neville on the right-hand side. Flicks the ball back across and in. And Gary Neville in his 200th United game gets only the second goal of his career. Beckham will fancy this. Right-footed over the wall. And in. 3-0 to United.
April.
Keane just dropped a little bit deeper to pick up the ball. Ball into the feet of Paul Scholes. Twisting and turning. Good ball from Scholes to Sheringham. The return ball by Scholes. Who finds the back of the net. A third Manchester United goal and a great move. Gary Neville sprints forward on the overlap. York used him as a decoy. Keane sees this inside the box. Far post heading towards goal. Goal! Yes! 1-1. And the goal with the equaliser.
May.
Julian Joseph into the challenge. Right-footed ball. Fed over the top to Scholes. Scholes across the base and goal. And it's bubbled in. United lead. Beckham continues his run. Has got goal side of McManaman. Right-footed ball. And Delight towards the far post. York scores for United. Beckham right-footed ball. Flips over the top. Song lets it pass. Murphy's got goal side and was caught. And the referee has given a penalty to Manchester United. Irwin, right-footed. Scores into the bottom right-hand corner. Picked up by Nicky Butt, 25 yards from goal. Hits it over the top. Sheringham's header. York at the far post. Dwight York scores for Manchester United in first half injury time.
Century 105 Sport. So good, you'll think you're there.
Well, I hope that brought back some very special memories for you. Manchester United season, 3 games to go today. They take on Tottenham live and exclusive for the Northwest right here on Century 105 with your local Northwest Ford dealer. Let's have a look at what's going to happen in the games. Frank's last chance to try and take some money off me. He'll be buying the drinks tonight anyway, so it'll all come out in the wash. Arsenal against Aston Villa. Arsenal to win.
Yeah, well, you've got to go for a home win. So much at stake for them. And Villa's season really, it died ages ago, didn't it? Once a couple of defeats went down, that was it. They lost form completely. Hopefully he'll be looking to make the things better for them next season. At the same time, they are probably due a top-class performance, Villa, because they haven't hit the heights there in the season. But I don't think it's going to be today. I think Arsenal got too much momentum in the game at the moment.
They beat Arsenal on the last day of last season, 1-0, the score of that day. Dwight York. Plenty of bizarre ironies. We'll go through a few more of them before 3 o'clock. Charlton against Sheffield Wednesday. Charlton have to win, and they're still relegated if Southampton win. I think Charlton will fulfil their part of the bargain. I've got them to beat Sheffield Wednesday this afternoon.
I think that would be a draw. I actually do.
I hope so.
I think Wednesday are quite good away from home. And obviously a big boost winning last week. I think what happens, people tend to forget. They tend to concentrate more on the teams that are involved at the bottom. And the ones at the top, and they look at those, but they forget that there's other people playing, even though they might have anything to play for. Wednesday are safe, but they can still play a bit more relaxed football, and there's so much pressure on Charlton.
Chelsea against Derby at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea for a home win.
Home win there as well.
And Coventry against Leeds. Leeds making a few changes. Paul Robinson in goal for Leeds today. Danny Granville, Alf-Inge Haaland, Matthew Jones, Stephen McFeld and Clyde Vinehard all get recalls. Bruno Ribeiro also brought back in. So I think that one's going to end as a draw for Gordon Strachan against his old club.
I'll go for a away win.
Leeds still to win at Coventry.
Yeah.
Steve McManaman's last game for Liverpool this afternoon. He plays at home to Wimbledon. Home win.
Home win.
Now here at Old Trafford, Manchester United champions if they win, and I'm going for a draw.
Well, that is the most surprising thing you've said all season. I can only see it going one way here today.
I've woken up with one of those feelings. I hope I'm just being unduly pessimistic. I really do. I've got Manchester United to draw with Spurs. I'd love to be paying out on a fiver for you, Frank. If Manchester United win that one, we'll wait and see.
Well, I will get a mention at the end, don't worry.
Newcastle against Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn making two changes. Marlon Brooms in for Stephen Honshaw. Gallagher in for Janssen. They line up with John Phelan in goal. Croft, Peacock, Brooms and Davidson the back four. Carsley, Dunn, Wilcox and Gillespie in midfield. Gallagher and Ward up front. And I think Blackburn will win at Newcastle this afternoon.
Well, I think Newcastle need to pick up on the form. You can't just go into the cup final thinking that, well, we'll do it all on the day. That's not the way it works. I've got a feeling that they'll win today.
Nottingham Forest, already relegated, have been for ages, but they won their last two games. They played Leicester City, and into the season they would love to restore a little bit of local pride as they go down to the First Division. Draw for me.
Leicester for me. Away win.
Well, if you've gone for Leicester, then it certainly won't be... I think quite fancy a draw now, or maybe a home win. Go downstairs, stick my money against whatever you say on Leicester. I'm also being pessimistic at the Dell, Southampton against Everton. I say I'm being pessimistic because no disrespect intended Everton fans, but I want Southampton to stay up. I don't think they will. I think that will be a draw and Charlton will survive.
I'm going for a home win.
And West Ham against Middlesbrough. That Everton side incidentally unchanged from the side that whacked West Ham. And West Ham on the back of that 6-0 defeat at home to Middlesbrough, and I think that Middlesbrough will end West Ham's season with a third straight defeat.
I'm going for a draw there today.
So plenty of differences of opinion. 7 of the 10 games we differ on.
There's one especially that we differ on.
Well, yeah, that'd be this one here. Manchester United against Spurs. Please, God, let me be wrong. Manchester United against Tottenham. It's exclusively live for the Northwest right here on Century 105. And we're around all our featured grounds next. Don't go away.
Live from Old Trafford, full match commentary on Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
Which referee has sent off the most number of players in the Premiership this season?
Ron, I think there's something you should know.
What's that, Bob?
The match has been called off.
The Fiesta Z-Tech. Advanced enjoyment from your Northwest Ford dealer.
Things are quiet right now here in Mr. Jack Daniels' old office. But one morning in 1905, this place was anything but quiet. That morning, the old cast iron safe in the corner wouldn't cooperate with its owner, who thought he knew the combination well. Mr. Jack lost his temper and kicked that safe hard enough to break his big toe. Infection took a lot of folks in those days, and shortly thereafter, it took Jasper Newton Daniel. Faithful to Mr. Jack's old-time ways, we've never altered the whiskey that bears his name, nor, we'll admit, ever found a good reason to mess with that old safe. Some things never change. Jack Daniels is one of them.
Leo Sayer is back with a vengeance, and you don't want to miss him. Leo
Leo Sayer live at the Liverpool Philharmonic, Sunday 30th of May, and the Manchester Apollo, Saturday the 5th of June. Tickets are available from the Philharmonic and the Apollo box office. Leo Sayer, back with a vengeance with Century 105.
The man who's flashed the red card more than any other is Ron Harris from Oxford. 8 sendings off this season, but he's not doing a game today.
Live from Old Trafford, full match commentary on Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur.
Couple of presentations out on the pitch. John Greening has just got a silver salver for being the reserve team player of the year. And England's Wesley Brown is currently getting the accolade from the Stretford end, from the North Stand, from the scoreboard end, even from some of the Tottenham fans for being the Manchester United Young Player of the Year. But how are Tottenham going to cope here this afternoon? Davy Ginola and all. Let's find out what Jan Morby, one of our resident experts, thinks about the men from the lane.
Mulvey's match notes on Century 105.
I think the main strength of Spurs is obviously the way they've been organised since George Graham took over. They've got some outstanding players in all three departments, defence, midfield and also up front.
The strength.
Sol Campbell keeps things together at the back. He's played ever so well this season. For the defender, this Dad Jones, he's been buffed once all season. It's a fantastic achievement. But everybody else has played their part in making them a strong defensive unit. Midfield, again, the main aim of their midfield players, apart from Ginola, is obviously to defend and work extremely hard when the opposition has got the ball. But there is players capable of creating things when they go forward. Tim Sherwood has been a great signing for Tottenham, and so is Stefan Freund. Stefan Freund doesn't catch the eye, but does a super job, just being the holding midfield player. And of course, Ginola, the double player of the year, surprised a few people, but I'm sure he'll go to Old Trafford and show people exactly why he was voted that player of the year. And if Tottenham are to have any joy, he needs to be on song. Up front, they've struggled to find a partnership that actually works. They've got one or two people to choose from, Armstrong, Ferdinand and Stefan Everson. And him, for me, he's the best striker they've got, Everson. He's got enormous potential. He's got pace, he scores goals. And he'll certainly be one to keep an eye on, especially with his pace if Jaap Stam doesn't make it.
The weaknesses.
The weaknesses at times can be their fullbacks. I don't think their fullbacks are of the best calibre in the Premiership. And I think George Graham is well aware of that. He's brought in Chorizo from Ipswich. He hasn't quite settled yet. He's more of a ball-playing fullback than an out-and-out defender. And on the other side, Carr. Again, although Carr's improved, again, I don't think he'll be part of the long-term future. And I think also that at times they're struggling for a wide midfield player on the right. The balance of the team is not quite right because a lot of it does go through the left where Ginola plays. But the biggest weakness for me is the fact they don't score enough goals. Everson does score. He's not out and out goals, but he scores his share. But the rest of the strikers don't score enough goals. They spend far too much time in the treatment room. George's main aim for next season will certainly to try and find somebody who's scoring a few goals.
Mulvey's match notes on Century 105.
Let's have a look at the team news. Manchester United making 4 changes. May for Stam, who's injured. Keane and Scholes preferred to button Phil Neville in midfield. Sheringham for Cole up front. Spurs bring Justin Edinburgh in for Maurizio Tirico. Les Ferdinand, who hasn't scored in his last 15 games, replaces Chris Armstrong, who hasn't scored in his last 12. Let's hope that that's not an omen. Let's go to Highbury next. Arsenal against Aston Villa. Team news from Andy Cheel.
There's not a man, woman or child among the 38,000 plus at Highbury who will need a refresher course in the basic maths required to bring the title here. What they need is new batteries for the terraced trannies that'll keep them in touch with what's happening at Old Trafford. Come to think of it, if it's appropriate, new batteries for the pacemaker wouldn't be a bad idea either. The Gunners go into the game with just 1 defeat in their last 19, but what a crucial setback that could prove away at Leeds this week. They're also unbeaten here at Fort Highbury all season. Opponents Villa have lost just once in their last 8 visits to Highbury, but before this week they were the last team to beat Arsenal in the Premiership. That was back in December. You can be sure they're not just here to go through the motions. That isn't in their vocabulary either. For Arsenal fans, remembering that Michael Thomas goal of 10 years ago, once again it's fears for tears, but they're still holding out for a hero. Arsenal against Aston Villa at Highbury.
Let's go to the Valley. Charlton against Sheffield Wednesday. Nigel Bidney.
If Charlton fail to stay in the Premiership, it'll be their home form that is to blame. 4 wins from 18 games with a goal difference of just +1 tells the story. A tight budget has prevented manager Alan Kirbishley from buying his way out of trouble. Swedish striker Martin Pringle was purchased, but with just 3 goals in 15 appearances, he's lost his place to leading scorer Clive Mendonca, who's recovered from a long-term injury. In defence, Richard Rufus damaged ankle ligaments in training this week. Steve Brown deputises. Sheffield Wednesday's main aim today is to avoid bookings and confirm a fair playing place in the UEFA Cup. From the Valley, it's Charlton Athletic against Sheffield Wednesday.
In the second division playoff, half-time at Detail, Preston 0, Gillingham 0. We'll keep you informed. Let's go to Anfield, Liverpool, Wimbledon, Ian Smith.
It's a final Anfield curtain call for Steve McManaman as he bids farewell to the Cop before heading for Real Madrid and the real money. He'd have hoped his final game would have had little more at stake than just mid-table pride, but with £1 million difference between finishing 6th and 11th, Liverpool should have some incentive for serving up some end-of-season entertainment. Wimbledon's dismal recent record since manager Joe Kinnear's ill health means their only incentive is the search for a second win in almost 20 games and a first goal ever at Anfield. They're boosted by the return of top scorer Marcus Gale from Jamaican international duty. He'll be hoping to spoil the McManaman leading bash as Liverpool take on Wimbledon at Anfield.
To St James's Park now, Newcastle against Blackburn, John Temple.
Newcastle United are looking for their first victory since their FA Cup semi-final triumph over Tottenham Hotspur this afternoon, and they include in their side goalkeeper Steve Harper. Once again, Shay Given is on the bench. There was out, though, at Duncan Ferguson and Alan Shearer. Both ruled out then for various reasons. Shearer with a twinge, and Ferguson, well, he's got cold stroke flu. As for Blackburn Rovers, well, they've disciplined Kevin Davies, but nonetheless, Blackburn boss Brian Kidd has named an otherwise full-strength side for this afternoon's game. They're last in the Premiership, hopefully for just over a year.
To Stamford Bridge, Chelsea against Derby, watched by Paul Ashton.
Chelsea's 15 draws, including the 2-2 game at Derby in December, has effectively cost them the Premiership title. However, a season containing only 3 league defeats and qualification for the European Champions League cannot be termed a failure. If Derby win here today, they're set for their highest ever Premiership placing. The Rams could finish in 6th place. Chelsea manager Gianluca Vialli has unusually named himself in the Blues starting lineup, so it's Chelsea v Derby here at Stamford Bridge.
Highfield Road now, Coventry taking on Leeds, Mark Tompkins.
The point earned at Derby last week ensured Coventry's future in the top flight. Victory today could see them climb the table and finish in a reasonably respectable league position. Leeds dented Arsenal's title hopes in the week. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's 18th Premiership goal of the season, making him the league's joint top scorer with Michael Owen. Leeds know they'll finish 4th, but will still be keen to close the gap on 3rd place Chelsea. Coventry bid farewell to Roland Nielsen today, who returns to Sweden after the game. He makes his first start since punching in alone against Arsenal back in March. Coventry against Leeds at Highfield Road.
Apologies for the technical problems that are stopping us linking up with the Dell at the moment as Southampton take on Everton, but we'll get that sorted out very soon. Let's go to West Ham next. They're taking on Middlesbrough. Gordon Cox.
It's dull, overcast and rather cool at Upton Park, where West Ham chase a place in the Intertoto Cup and Middlesbrough seek their highest top flight place for 20 years. Middlesbrough, unbeaten away since the end of February, haven't scored at Upton Park for 10 years. Craig Forrest, Steve Potts and Mark Keller replace suspended Shaka Hislop, Steve Lomas and Ian Wright for the Hammers. Borough are again without Paul Gascoigne and Colin Cooper. Keith O'Neill returns, while 19-year-old Irish youth international Michael Cummins makes his debut. West Ham against Middlesbrough.
Now the City Ground, Nottingham Forest take on Leicester, and that's the final day for you now. Hold tight as we bring you the final 90 minutes that will make or break the title. Will it be the championship? Will it be the treble chance in tatters? Catch all the action exclusively live for the Northwest, live on Century 105.
Live from Old Trafford, full match commentary on Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur.
Arsenal haven't lost at home in the league since last season, which was the last team to win away at Highbury.
Century 105 Power Pass.
If space is fascinatingly big to you, try a day at Jodrell Bank in Cheshire. Sylvia Chaplin.
This huge, magnificent instrument, which is still the second largest fully steerable dish in the world, in fact is there listening to the radio waves coming from the universe. Everything is hands-on. The difficulty about astronomy is, of course, that things seem to be so far away, so big, and so difficult to understand. And the idea here at the Science Centre is to make everything tactile, hands-on, so that people can understand those sizes and distances. And out in the Arboretum, where we've got our grounds, 35 acres of trees and shrubs, we've set out the solar system scale.
If you want to visit this or a number of other attractions across the Northwest, you need a Power Pass card, which gives you 2-for-1 admission. Pick one up from any Northwest tourist office. It costs £1, with proceeds going to the Century Community Trust charity.
The last team to leave Highbury with all 3 points, Blackburn Rovers.
Live from Old Trafford, full match commentary on Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur. So good, you'll think you're there with your local North West Ford dealer.
After 26 barren years without the English League title, Manchester United can this afternoon clinch the championship for the 5th time in 7 seasons on their way to a potential unique treble. But against them, a man with a score to settle. Footballer of the Year Davy Ginola was denied the title by United in each of his 2 seasons with Newcastle. How the mercurial Frenchman would love to seal his great season by claiming some revenge for the Geordies. Ironies and connections are here in their numbers today. Can Spurs win the title for Arsenal? Can George Graham repay the sack he got from Arsenal by helping add to their sack load of trophies since he left? Can Graham help United to the title after being a member of the Old Trafford side relegated in the 70s? The last time United were denied the title on the final day, Tim Sherwood lifted the trophy for Blackburn. Today, he's hoping to give United some last day blues again as he plays for his boyhood heroes. The last time the trophy went to the final game, United won it. The last time it went to goal difference, Arsenal won it. And the last time a side who was second going into the final game won the trophy, it was Arsenal, managed by George Graham. But forget all that, it's history. This is the present. Now's the time for the talking to stop and the action to start as United play their final and most critical league game of the season at an Old Trafford packed to the rafters with an unbelievable atmosphere, and the whole game is exclusively live on Century 105. Here's Frank Stapleton.
Well, as you just said there, Jim, the crowd are really up for it now. A few minutes ago we just had an opera singer on, and he sang Lesson Dormer, and it just got the crowd really up, and they just picked it up from there. Today's, his judgment day is such, but these players all season, they haven't really disappointed us very much. As normal, you go ups and downs in the season, but I think the most important thing is that they're positive today, and it's a great sight to see Roy Keane leading the team out there. What we all will hope today is going to be their championship.
Manchester United have Roy Keane back, one of 4 changes to the side that drew 0-0 at Blackburn. And Dwight York gets his award for Player of the Year. Peter Schmeichel in goal, Gary Neville, David May, Ronnie Johnson and Dennis Irwin in the back 4, Beckham, Keane, Scholes and Giggs in midfield, Sheringham, former Tottenham man, and Dwight York, who scored on the last day of the season the only goal against Arsenal last season for Aston Villa. Those 2 meet again today, of course. They're up front. But Cole, Phil Neville, Solskjaer and Van der Kuil on the bench. Tottenham making 2 changes. Edinburgh for Tarico, who's suspended. Ferdinand for Armstrong, who's palpably out of form. It's Walker in goal. Carr, Scales, Campbell and Edinburgh the back 4. Anderson, Freund, Sherwood and Ginola in midfield. Ferdinand and Everson up front, with Dominguez, Sinton, Clements, Young and Bordson on the bench for Spurs.
Well, today Tottenham are actually playing out the season, but they've got individuals to win games on their own. United know they have to be at their best to win today. As we said on many occasions, that their attitude going into the match is the most important thing, because once they get on top of the game, they very rarely let it go. We're talking about people doing favours for other people. I don't think that really happens. Certainly not in their game here. If you look at Leeds in the week, they beat Arsenal. They wanted to win, for themselves, not for anybody else. And Blackburn played like demons the other night just to stop United. So today we have a situation where you've got the wear and everything that you get. We're talking about different quirks and different things. The last league game on the Old Trafford last season was here, and United won 3-0. And the manager that day was George Graham, the manager of Leeds United. So if we're going by little quirks and different things, I think that's a good omen.
Peter Schmeichel has just received an award as well from Manchester United. Of course, this probably 99% certain to be his last game here at Old Trafford. It's his 396th game for Manchester United. It will be an emotional day for him, whatever the result.
Yes, it will. And but he said, I've made my mind up. I said I'm going. And the greatest thing about it is that nobody nobody's actually criticising for that. They respect him for what he's done here. And to be fair, he has been playing some wonderful stuff in the last 3 or 4 months. Since he had that rest, he's just like his old self.
Well, I was going to say, you look at the decisions that managers make that win titles and do things for you. And that, I think, was a masterstroke. It was slaughtered at the time. But Fergie just saying to Peter Schmeichel, hey, have a fortnight off. Go out to the Caribbean, get your head in order and come back. Magnificent.
Yeah, and it's worked wonders, and he give other players rest. But now it's all about today. It's about this 90 minutes. And I think that if United win this game today and they're going to win the championship as I expect them to do, I think they will go on and win the treble.
Tottenham Hotspur, lily white shirts, blue shorts and white socks, kicking from right to left. United, red shirts, white shorts and black socks, kicking from left to right. They've kicked off already at Highbury. Arsenal against Aston Villa, and we'll keep you up to date with everything that happens there from our reporter in North London, Andy Cheel, and every kick exclusively live right here on Century 105 from the Theatre of Dreams, where the dreams today depend on a home win for Manchester United. It will be their 21st in 30 games here at Old Trafford this season, and there's a real air of expectation, as you'd expect, around Old Trafford. Ferdinand has it out towards the right-hand touchline for Tottenham. Play back through the midfield. Sheringham flicks it through the midfield, and Tottenham pick it up out towards that far side with Everson. Scholes, his opposite number 18, fires it over the top, and a mistake and a handball by Justin Edinburgh as he died to the ground outside his own box. He lost his balance, and then as he fell backwards, just stuck his left hand out. The play continues amazingly. Out on the right-hand touchline, balls with Darren Anderson for Tottenham. Back towards the halfway line for Steve Carr, the young Irishman, one of the unsung heroes of Premiership football in my eyes. Cleared up that far touchline by Ronnie Johnson for Manchester United. Now to play for a throw which will be taken. The stalking has stopped. It's time for the action to start, and it's time for Manchester United to go and win this trophy, which they deserve. Ball out of play. Tottenham have a throw, taken short, Carter throwing, and back out towards Steve Carr again. Right-footed ball swung inside the penalty area. Ferdinand was nowhere near it. It'll be cleared by David Beckham on the volley. Headed back inside the penalty area. Cleared by Ronnie Johnson. Scholes digs it right-footed down towards the near touchline. Sheringham flicks it on. He played back through the midfield, down towards this near touchline. Edinburgh to Ginola. Ginola's clever little back heel brings Tim Sherwood into play, and he'll do his best to get past David May's former Blackburn teammate on this near touchline. He's got there. May snapped him to the ground, but it'll be a throw to be taken on this near side by Tottenham Hotspur, who've had the play inside United's half for all 90 seconds so far.
Yeah, and it's a little bit, United need to just settle it down, because it suits them better when they can get hold of the ball. That's the most important thing. I felt that Sherwood had a point there. I thought that David May just kicked the heel.
Edinburgh with the throw towards Ginola on this near touchline. The ball knocked down towards this near touchline, out of play for a throw, which will be taken on this near side by Justin Edinburgh again. Sent off twice this season, including a red card at Wembley against Leicester in the Worthington Cup final. A bitter end to the Worthington Cup final for Edinburgh, not for his side, who won through Alan Nielsen's goal, and he, I'm sure, won't be at Tottenham next season. Sitting down away to our left-hand side at the moment. It would have been his 100th game for the club today. John Scales, former Liverpool defender, making his 500th career appearance at the Tottenham back line, just his second under George Graham after a lengthy spell through injury. United have it on the far side with 2.5 minutes gone, live on Century 105. The title decider with your local Northwest Ford dealer. Played for by Darren Anderson, out towards the right-hand touchline. Spurs will bring it forward, lull in the crowd as Everson runs at the United defence, and Keane made a sliding challenge about 15 yards outside the penalty area. Schmeichel picked the ball up away to our left-hand side, and will just bounce the ball once and then twice and knock it forward long, right-footed from the edge of his own penalty area. High up and under, which will be brought down in the midfield. Going up for it, Sol Campbell knocked it away past his former teammate Teddy Sheringham. Keane back to Dennis Irwin, inside the centre circle. Irwin onto his right foot, measured, flighted ball, chipped over the top again. Looking for that avenue right through the centre flank to try and get past John Scales, but Ian Walker will pick it up, and it's 0-0.
Yeah, it was a difficult ball. Roy Keane actually saw the space, but Roy York had come away and taken Campbell with him and created a big hole in there. But unfortunately, Dennis Irwin's ball was overhit and went through to the goalkeeper.
On that far touchline, Scholes challenges with Anderson, another player who's tipped to lead Tottenham in the summer. Steve Carr will take the throw, which will be thrown in from that right-hand side, with Tottenham on that far touchline, kicking from right to left, but the referee says it's a foul throw, and Dennis Irwin will go across to show his compatriot exactly how he should have thrown it onto the field of play. Steve Carr played more games for Spurs this season than any other man, 51. Now been established as a Premiership regular for 3 years in the Tottenham side. Already a goal at West Ham United. They lead Middlesbrough by 1-0. Frankie Lampard scoring the goal for West Ham. Scholes out towards the far touchline. Here's Ryan Giggs, bring it forward for United. Through towards the left-hand side. Giggs will bring it forward. Good ball as well towards the far. Ball played in. Great save by Walker at the near post. Just diving in on the edge of the 6-yard box to deny sharing it. It'll be a corner. And United very, very nearly getting through with 4 minutes gone.
Yeah, on the first attack. Some lovely one-touch play, and they walked the ball into Ryan Giggs. The first time they did it on the ground, and York was there in the near post, and the keeper ended up getting a hand, knocked it past the post for a corner kick. But that was United down. That's more like them.
Johnson to Scholes. Scholes right-footed, chip ball inside the penalty area. May had pushed forward to add a bit of weight and height to the attack. Gary Neville nods it down behind Dennis Irwin, who will run back onto it and flick it back towards Peter Schmeichel away to our left-hand side. A promising start for United, all things considered. Schmeichel gets it clear, right-footed. The Spurs and United fans have already regaled each other in a chorus of stand up if you hate Arsenal. The ball towards the edge of the penalty area. Carr ducks his head and turns it back towards Ian Walker away to our right-hand side. 5 minutes gone. 0-0 at Highbury. Arsenal against Aston Villa. 1-0 West Ham lead Middlesbrough. The game, the only game with a goal in the Premiership so far. Ginola on this near touchline, challenged by Gary Neville. He's gone to ground, holding his knee. Beckham fires it over the top. Walker's off his line, but Beckham couldn't repeat that magnificent goal he scored against Wimbledon. And David Ginola in real trouble on this near touchline.
Yeah, you just got a tap on the calf. It was a foul, but I'm not so sure whether he wants to know too much. I don't know. I just question his body language a little bit.
Interesting comments he made before he signed his contract this week, saying that nothing would give him greater pleasure than winning the title for his French mates at Arsenal. And then since he got the ink dry on the contract and his new 3-year deal, he perhaps just gave a little hint that perhaps he wouldn't mind Manchester United winning the title. I'm not saying anything. Don't read anything to that. Edinburgh on this near touchline. Play forward down this near side by Keane. Keane to York. Good challenge by Scales. Out of play for throw to be taken on this near touchline by Dwight York. 29 goals this season for the £12.5 million man from Aston Villa. Beckham on this near touchline. Just lays the ball down for Gary Neville. Will be off to Highbury as soon as is convenient for an update from Arsenal against Aston Villa. Ball played over the top by May inside the penalty area. Bounces behind York. Good little nod on by Chetty, showing him another man very, very fired up for today.
Yeah, he will be, and that was unlucky because Dwight York had anticipated him knocking it in front of him, and it just went behind him. But as I say, Tottenham haven't come to just sit there and lie down. But I think that it's, as I said before in the preview, that it's about what United do here today. They are at home. The onus is on them to score, and obviously the onus on them to win the game if they want to win the championship.
1-2-0 here last season against Spurs. Both goals scored by Ryan Giggs. Spurs, of course, won 3-1 in the Worthington Cup final. Worthington Cup quarter-final, should I say, earlier this season against United down at White Hart Lane. Here's Beckham down towards the near touchline, threaded the ball through the midfield after Edinburgh had slipped, and Ginola on this near touchline may not be fit to continue. Sherwood will bring it forward on that right-hand side, threads it forward for Everson, little in the way of support for him. Ferdinand out towards the right-hand touchline was denied by the industrious Paul Scholes. Sheringham ball over the top, knocked by Sol Campbell back towards Ian Walker. Ball bounced in front of him inside the penalty area. Oh, and he's almost put it in the net. It's off the post and Walker makes the save. Walker hit the ball, charged out off Dwight York and ricocheted. It took an age to wander its way through the 6-yard box, came back up the inside of the post, and Walker made the save, and that was almost the most bizarre, imaginable goal to present Manchester United with a Premiership title.
Well, that was unbelievable in a game of this importance. He was so casual, kicking the ball out, and gradually Dwight York started to make his way forward. When he decided to kick it, Dwight York just took his foot out and hit him on the heel. And the ball, as you said, agonizingly just crept and hit the side of the post and came out.
That easily the best chance of the game we've seen so far, or the not really a chance, but closest that United have come to the goal. Dwight York hitting the post in the 8th minute, and it's 0-0. But United have been impressive early on. It's 0-0 as well still at Highbury between Arsenal and Aston Villa. Ball played forward over the halfway line. Bounces down awkwardly. Carr gets away with the control, which had a suspicion of handball about it. Out towards the right-hand touchline. Anderton, man known as Shaggy, plays it through the midfield. Beckham will pick it up inside the centre circle and right-footed, lay it forward. Sheringham, little layoff. Here's Keane breaking forward. So important to have him back. Down towards this near touchline. Gary Neville, York and Sheringham into the penalty area. Laid short for Beckham. Right-footed ball hit with plenty of pace. Well over the head of Ryan Giggs at the far post. And Carr will just See the ball roll down into his stride and bring it forward. Ginola won't be fit to continue and won't be coming back onto the field of play, so that's one threat that United have seen dispelled in the very early stages. Jose Dominguez will be the player that will come on to replace him in a moment. But breaking forward through the midfield, Freund, the German, down to Everson. Everson, right-footed ball in the channel, far too long for Ferdinand, and it'll be picked up by Peter Schmeichel away to our left-hand side. 9 minutes gone, 0-0.
Yeah, and there's so much happened, isn't there? I think the atmosphere and the whole occasion is just getting to everybody, but that's just tremendous. And I would just say, United have been quite positive. They've settled the thing down once after the initial burst by Tottenham at the start of the game, and just start to get their passing sequences together and the little triangles, and things will start to open up for them.
Showing to Keane. Keane forward. Good ball as well. Ryan Giggs inside the penalty area. Plays the ball back across. Look at the York. And coming back to cover. It's hammered away by Justin Edinburgh for a throw corner which will be taken on this near touchline. David Beckham spots it down. That substitution made. Dominguez on for Ginola. Gary Neville swings the ball in. Scholes on the edge of the 6-yard box. Knocked away by Tottenham. Down towards Dominguez. Dominguez first touch almost put Sherwood in trouble, but he gets it clear right footed from the edge of his own penalty area. And Irwin will turn it back to Peter Schmeichel. 10 gone. United 0, Spurs 0. Live on Century 105, the local Northwest Ford dealers. We bring you exclusive commentary from every domestic game from here on in for Manchester United. Next season, the only place that you'll hear domestic Manchester United action is live here on Century 105 in crystal clear FM. Gary Neville to Beckham. Beckham turning it through the midfield, right-footed towards Sheringham. Sheringham challenged by Sol Campbell. Laid the ball back to David May. May didn't win a title with Blackburn, but of course has won a couple of them here with Manchester United. Gary Neville's high ball over the top towards the edge of the box, knocked away by Sol Campbell. On the end of it, Steve Carr climbs high, heads it down for Everson on the right-hand touchline, dropping very deep, gets the return ball from Freund, but Scholes will pick it up and lays the ball back towards the left-hand side for Ronnie Johnson. Sheringham out towards that far touchline. Goal at Anfield. Liverpool leading Wimbledon by 1 goal, and Patrick Berger scoring for Liverpool. Here's Sheringham getting whistles and catcalls from the Spurs fans. Keane down towards his near touchline for Gary Neville. Gary Neville 5 yards in from the right-hand side. A ball over the top. Found Dwight York. York's control found the fans and not his right foot. He couldn't flick the ball back inside. Big grin on Dwight York's face as always. It'd be a throw to be taken on this near side by Spurs. 11 minutes gone. Man United 0, Spurs 0. Ferdinand to Freund. Freund inside the centre circle. Giggs has come back to try and trap back and cover. Ferdinand's ball off towards the far side was very poor. And be brought forward by Giggs. Giggs down towards his near touchline for Beckham. Beckham's got Keane to his left. United, remember, hit the post in the 7th minute when Ian Walker's clearance hit Dwight York's outstretched heel and bounced back off the post and into Walker's hands. Chipped over the top. United still pushing forward. Campbell heads it away past York. Giggs turns it back on towards Sheringham. Sheringham out towards the West Indian on the far touchline. Dwight York turning back inside. Thought he was body checked. Sets up Giggs, edge to the penalty area. Onto his left foot. Still Ryan Giggs twisting and turning and trying to find an avenue inside the penalty area. He's been forced back. It was turned out not to be an avenue but a cul-de-sac. Laid back after that challenge from Sol Campbell to David May. Down towards Gary Neville, near touchline, 5 yards in from the right-hand side of Beckham. Beckham bring it back towards the halfway line. Hits it through the legs of Gary Neville, almost gave it away, but Johnson comes back and laid back to Peter Schmeichel, who will pick the ball up outside his penalty area. 12 minutes gone, Manchester United 0, Spurs 0. Cleared high by Schmeichel, down the throat of Teddy Sheringham, who turns it through the midfield, flicked away by Stephen Freund, down towards Ferdinand to Anderson. Anderson down towards his near touchline for Jose Dominguez, the Portuguese international who started his English career at Birmingham City. Down towards his near touchline, the ball played away, through the midfield to Sherwood, through the legs of Freund, out towards Anderson. Giggs is in there, sticking a challenge in, out towards Steve Carr. Off to Highbury very shortly for details of Arsenal against Villa, which is still goalless. Anderson on that right-hand touchline. 5 yards in from the right-hand side. Flicks it over the top. Schmeichel will come out. Let's go to North London. Andy Shield.
At Highbury, it's Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. The Gunners pushing forward, dominating midfield. And Overmars getting in the first shot of the game on just 5 minutes, cutting in from the left to fire a right foot shot a couple of yards wide of the post. Bergkamp too fired a right footer from outside the box, closer but still not quite on target. Vieira from 20 yards did find the target, hammered in a right foot shot that Oakes in the Villa goal could only parry. And then seconds ago, Overmars also forcing Oakes into a save. Bergkamp put Overmars clear and Oakes came in from the left to save with his feet. It's Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0.
Ian Walker away to our right-hand side will get it forward, long, right-footed from the edge of his 6-yard box. 13 minutes gone. United 0, Spurs 0, Villa 0-0 down at Arsenal. If it stays like this, both these games ending as they are at the moment, then United will win the title. York out towards the left-hand side for Giggs. Sheringham makes a run forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Scholes arriving from deep. Giggs running at Steve Carr, who comes across and concedes the third corner which United have won in the game. It will be taken on that far touchline in front of the North Stand and the scoreboard end away to our right. And David Beckham will trot across, gets a magnificent reception from the United fans as he spots the ball down on that far side. And just instead of spotting the ball down, looks at it, feels it, kicks it towards the referee, who asks for another ball to be played in. Not quite happy with the pressure of that one. And the ball will be thrown in from this near touchline, and Roy Keane will retrieve it and then punt it. Gaelic football style out towards the far touchline, and David Beckham will pick it up, and there's a good atmosphere here in Old Trafford, something we've been critical of sometimes this season, but fair play to the United fans who've really responded today. Beckham with the corner from that far touchline towards the near post, headed away by the impressive Sol Campbell. Out towards Gary Neville. Hit back over the top by Dennis Irwin. Knocked away by Sherwood. Caught late by Sheringham. Free kick will be taken by Spurs 15 yards outside the penalty area. It's Man United 0, Spurs 0, Arsenal 0, Villa 0. Liverpool lead Wimbledon 1-0, Patrick Bergen. 0-0 Everton at Southampton and Blackburn at Newcastle. The only other goal in the Premiership, West Ham 1, Middlesbrough 0. 0-0 as well in the playoffs between Preston and Gillingham at Deepdale. The results earlier, Bolton beating Ipswich 1-0 with a Michael Johansson goal. Watford beat Birmingham 1-0 in the First Division as well. In the Third Division, Rotherham's game with Orient ended 0-0, and Swansea beat Scunthorpe. Out towards the right-hand touchline, that was 1-0 incidentally. Steve Carr has it for Tottenham, running forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Still Steve Carr has it. Irwin will slide in. He'll be quite happy just to concede the corner, taking no chances, and Tottenham have their first corner of the game with 15 minutes gone, and Anderton will go out there to take it. Southampton born, but started his career at Portsmouth. Does admit to being a big Southampton fan, and they, of course, need a win today to be sure of staying up. In comes the corner from that right-hand touchline. Anderton's right-footed outswinger, edge of the 6-yard box. It comes up, will be headed down by Scales to Sherwood. Sherwood down towards this near touchline. Sliding challenge comes in from Keane, immaculately challenged. And well-timed as well, the last touch coming off Justin Edinburgh. United have a throw on the edge of their box. 16 minutes gone. It's Man United 0, Spurs 0.
Well, United have played some nice, attractive stuff, but as you say, apart from the one that hit the post, they haven't really had too many efforts on goal, but they are playing a little bit more relaxed, and the crowd are trying to lift them, and obviously they're trying to stuck the ball into the net more than anything else. Just they need that lead, and I think once they get that lead, I think they'll run away with the match. But of course, getting the first goal is the hardest thing as well. And obviously, you don't want the Spurs to be the ones to get that first goal in the game.
Justin Edinburgh lays the ball back towards Ian Walker away to our right-hand side, and will knock it forward right-footed from just outside his own penalty area. Ferdinand beaten in the air by his timing of the jump, if anything. David May was the player that got it clear, and then York is bursting through. Notice though he's body checked by John Scales as he tried to run into an onside position, and will be helped up to his feet by the referee. And should that have been a free kick?
No, it was an accident. What happened? Roy York was trying to bend his run, and the ball was played. Of course, John Scales is making his way back, and Dwight just tangled legs. It was an accident. That's good refereeing. He didn't see anything, so he couldn't give a decision.
Graham Poll, the man in the middle today. Giggs will bring the ball onto his left foot, flick the ball through, almost found York. Scales hammered it away. Keane back out towards Giggs. Giggs 25 yards out, low left-footed shot, took it, he flicks it and sails behind Ian Walker's goal for another Manchester United corner.
Yeah, and it's, again, good one-touch play in and around. Giggs took the ball on. I thought immediately when he got past the player, he just had a go. I know it was 20-30 yards out, but it was well worth the effort. But he took a little touch on it, and eventually Scales managed to block it, but it went out for the corner.
Beckham will take it far side, right-footed, outswinger, in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. There it came in, and it was saved by Ian Walker, just standing outside his goal. Another good corner coming in from Beckham, met with that near post run from Ryan Giggs. And it'll be bowled down by Walker down towards this near touchline for Justin Edinburgh. Edinburgh played it forward. Dominguez was caught by Keane. It'll be a free kick to be taken by Spurs just inside their own half.
Yeah, it was a free kick. Roy Keane just came into the back. He's obviously a bit anxious to get hold of the ball, and I think before when you said he made a tackle, break off here.
As Giggs brings it forward, Sheringham makes a great run and stayed onside. Right-hand side of the penalty area. He's forced down towards the corner flag. Has it. Lays it back for Beckham. Right-footed ball swung inside the penalty area. Headed cleared by John Scales again. Gary Neville does well. Stands firm. It's it. York! Right across the face of goal. And it goes away for a throw. There was no one, neither Scholes nor Sheringham, that could get there on the edge of the 6-yard box. And that, the best chance United created so far.
Suspicion of offside there, Jim. Got to say, Roy York did look a couple of yards behind everybody else. But Gary Neville had won the ball as it came out, headed the ball back in, and they just let the ball run past. As I say, Dwight York smashed at the ball a little bit as it come across his body. He just tried to turn and hit it, but completely missed the target and went out for a throw on the far side. But it's an encouraging few minutes for United, and the pressure starting to tell on this Tottenham defence.
In the second division playoffs, Preston lead Gillingham by 1-0. David Ayres, 9th goal of the season. Preston leading Gillingham by 1-0. And they're, 20 minutes into the second half there. We're a similar distance inside the first here as Keane chips the ball over the top, and York's pace will try and get in there before Sol Campbell. Campbell is there with a more physical strength, but York holds it off, lays it short. Beckham right-footed outswinger inside the penalty area. He'll flick headed out, Scholes is offside. Hits the ball towards goal, and Walker makes the save. It was a good save, in fact, by Ian Walker, but just a bit of finger pointing from the referee, Graham Poll, just saying to poor Scholes, look, you must have heard the whistle when I blew for the offside, so don't take advantage, don't try and buy a couple of seconds. Walker will take the goal kick away, the free kick away to our right-hand side, and we played just short of 20. Manchester United 0, Spurs 0, but all at United.
Yeah, they're on top now, and they just need to keep it going, get the breakthrough, and then they'll be more relaxed, and then look to get a second goal and reinforce the way they're playing.
Anderson through the midfield, brought down by Ferdinand. Here's Roy Keane, just picking it up from the square ball from Dennis Owen. He then laid it back to Peter Schmeichel away to our left-hand side. It's goalless at Highbury. Arsenal against Aston Villa, like this one, 0-0. Ball played forward. Campbell climbing all over York. Referee allows play to continue. Good advantage. Gary Neville to Beckham. Back to Gary Neville again. Gary Neville onto his right foot. Just lays the ball back over the halfway line. David May. May, who's had something of an Indian summer this season, just coming into the side at Leeds for a first start, and now just making that position his own in the absence is firstly of Jonsson and now Stam. Jonsson in the side today, but there's no Jaap Stam playing. David May not doing enough to win a title medal, though. Out towards the right-hand side, it'll be played forward by Stefan Freund on that far touchline. The sliding challenge comes in on that far side, and it'll be knocked away. The referee goes across and sees a free kick, or a season infringement. It'll be a free kick which will be taken by Anderson on that far touchline, a yard in from the right-hand side. 21 minutes gone, live and exclusive on Century 105, your local Northwest Sport dealer. It's Man United 0, Spurs 0. Anderson's right-footed ball, chipped over the top. Dennis Irwin heads it away. Scholes out towards the far touchline. Good header back down by Anderson again, but Scholes picks it up in the midfield. Sheringham short for Keane, right-footed over the top, brought down by Giggs. Little left-footed layoff out towards the left-hand side for Dennis Irwin. Freund comes across, and it goes out for a throw, which will be taken by Spurs. A little bit of well, not lack of concentration on that far touchline by Dennis Owen, just shoved up the ball slightly easier perhaps than he should have been, and it's out for a throw which will be taken on that far side by Spurs. Everson laying the ball out towards the right-hand touchline for Steve Carr, the young Dubliner, back onto his right foot. Sol Campbell just drifts out a little bit deeper. It's laid the other way though to Sherwood. Right-footed ball forward, chipped over the top by Ferdinand, brought down on that right-hand touchline by Everson. Only Dominguez in the centre for him. Laid short towards the far side once more. And again, Tottenham will bring it forward. Tim Sherwood, right-footed ball, chipped inside the penalty area. Out came Peter Schmeichel, who's had nothing to do but good concentration and being able to come very, very early to come and meet the ball about 13, 14 yards outside the goal. And he caught it with being about 18 inches off the ground. Ball down towards his near touchline, and Keane will bring it forward for United once more. 22 gone, midway through the first half, 0-0, but United have hit the post when Walker's clearance came back off York. And if you're thinking that you're not hearing much of David Ginola, he's gone off with a suspected hamstring strain. Ball play forward, Giggs was offside on this near touchline. It's a free kick which will be playing by Tottenham, about 5 yards outside their own box, and a quarter of the way through. It's 0-0, but 0-0 at Arsenal as well, Frank.
Yeah, they're playing quite well, but you think that the longer it goes on, you get into the second half and it's still 0-0, and anything can happen at the other. As you say, it's in their hands, and they're trying obviously to do as much as they can, but Tottenham are very, very well organised, and they're getting people behind the ball as soon as they're...
Ball brought down, Everson left-footed over the bar. Suspicion of handball as the ball was played down by Everson inside the penalty area. He was turning Ronnie Jonsson, hit a left-footed shot, a rising drive, always over Peter Schmeichel's bar, way to our left-hand side. The United goal remains intact.
Yeah, I'm just fascinated with the referee. Why is he speaking to Peter Schmeichel about something? I don't know. Yeah, that was a little bit of uncertainty in the United defence. Jonsson and May haven't played that much together, so you would feel that maybe they will. There'll be one or two misunderstandings. It takes quite a few games, as we saw with Jaap Stam earlier in the season, to get an understanding with the guy you play beside. And once that happens, then they start to do the things automatically.
York out towards Giggs on that left-hand side for Manchester United. It's 0-0 at Old Trafford. Scholes inside the centre circle, which plays the ball back into David May, who's in his own half of the centre circle, hits it forward, far too long, right-footed, but Carr will keep the ball on the island by nodding it down. Anderson lays it back for Walker, and there's a sense of expectation every time Walker tries and clears the ball after he cleared one straight into Dwight York in the opening 6 or 7 minutes. Scholes chips it back over the top. Beckham's offside. Giggs was retreating and wasn't, but Beckham was as he ran from deep. There'll be a free kick which will be taken by Spurs just outside their own box. We'll be back at Highbury shortly. 0-0 there. Manchester United 0, Spurs 0. The score line here. In fact, let's go back to Highbury now. Andy Cheel.
Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0 at Highbury. A problem for Arsenal with Nelson Vivas being forced off with an injury. Lundberg, the replacement, he's gone into midfield with Petit moving to left back. But a couple of good chances to Arsenal in the last couple of minutes. Petit taken 2 corners. The first one, Vieira met it with a meat of his head, and it was cleared off the line by Gareth Southgate. And another corner to Arsenal just seconds ago. Again, it was Petit with the left wing spot kick. This time, Adams got in the header, but it drifted wide of the post. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0.
Unbelievable. Manchester United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Les Ferdinand with the goal. His first in 16 games. Coming after 25 minutes. High ball played over the top. Peter Schmeichel was stranded, and Ferdinand waved the right foot at it, flicked it over the Dane, and it came in just off the inside of the post into the net. United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1, and the title dreams are on a real knife edge now.
Well, that's a first real attempt at goal that Tottenham have had. And as you say, it was an innocuous ball over the top. There was a little bit of uncertainty there. I think it might have been Ronnie Johnson, and Ferdinand just flicked the ball past Johnson and past Peter Schmeichel and tried to get back at something from going over the line, but only managed to help it in the net.
Out towards the far touchline, it's played away for throw to be taken by Spurs on that far side by Steve Carr. Goal at West Ham. West Ham United 2, Middlesbrough 0. Mark Keller. And a goal at Southampton. Southampton leading Everton by 1-0 down at the Dale. And it's Marian Pahars that scored the goal for Southampton. They chase their 3rd straight win to try and keep themselves in the Premiership. But here, it's all gone pear-shaped. Manchester United 0, Spurs 1, although you feel, as the Spurs fans celebrated the goal very half-heartedly, it has to be said, that perhaps it will, in the end, be no more than a consolation for Tottenham, because Manchester United have been much, much the better side in the first 25 minutes. They've just not got to lose sight of the fact that they've still got 65 minutes to go. Ball played over the top. Edinburgh got there before David Beckham. The ball might bounce through to David Beckham. Sheringham and Sol Campbell just squared up to each other for a moment. There'll be a free kick which will be taken by Tottenham. And the referee, I think, saw something in Sheringham's change that perhaps wasn't there and is going to book him.
Well, I'm surprised at that. I thought Sheringham went in hard for the ball and got the ball, and he ended up... Campbell was complaining, but he was diddling on the ball. He wanted more time there. Unbelievable.
Yellow card to Teddy Sheringham, and the Spurs fans love that, and the usual songs come out from away to our right-hand side. Manchester United 0, Spurs 1. Les Ferdinand with the goal on 25 minutes. Ian Walker, way to our right-hand side, will get the ball forward from 10 yards outside the penalty area, right-footed, fires it over the top towards the edge of the box. Johnson's up there, gets there before Everson, bounces down, Giggs lays the ball back, the referee spots another infringement. United will have a free kick this time, 10 yards outside their own box. United 0, Spurs 1. It's Arsenal 0, Villa 0, and if they stay like that, United will still win the title, but they'll win it on goals scored. Down towards this near touchline, David May will bring the ball forward. Down on towards this right-hand side. High ball over the top. York makes a run. Scales nods it away. Sheringham brings it down onto his right foot. Knocked away by Campbell. Campbell does well. Stays on his feet. Beckham though for Sierra. Keane towards Dennis Irwin. United trailing 1-0. Irwin onto his right foot. Flicks it through the midfield. Beckham has got Keane making a run ahead of him. Right-footed ball through the midfield. Keane tries to bring it into his stride. Finds York. York gets here. Right-footed shot from Scholes. Took a deflection off Freund. Out towards the left-hand side. Giggs lets it run. And it's another United corner in the 5th of the game.
Yeah, United are trying to get back on level terms as quickly as possible. Well, I've just really noticed that Paul Scholes has been very, very quiet this afternoon. Very quiet, hardly been in the game.
Giggs to Beckham, right-footed ball swung in from that far side. Keane tries to head the ball down, chest it down, tries to play the ball back across the face of goal, but it had just rolled out and be a goal kick which will be taken by Walker away to our right-hand side. 5 corners to 1 in Manchester United's favour, but Les Ferdinand's goal makes it Man United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
Yeah, I just think United have to stay cool. They don't need to panic. So, you know, when you look at this is probably George Graham's favourite scoreline, but I would say that they just got to keep going, and the chance will come, and obviously when they come, you've got to take them. But they've only had one shot at goal.
Come on Villa is the cry from the Spurs fans, I kid you not. Sherwood, right-footed ball over the top. Everson chests the ball down. Knocked away by Jonsson. Out towards the left-hand side for Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs, high ball over the top. York makes a run. Campbell's there. Lets the ball sail over his head. And Justin Edinburgh turns ahead back towards Ian Walker away to the right-hand side. Manchester United 0. Tottenham Hotspur 1. Leslie Ferdinand has had a torrid time in his 2 years at Tottenham, but has scored a massive, massive goal. As it stands at the moment, here's Steve Carr bringing it forward to Anderton. Anderton right-footed out towards the far touchline. Spurs bring it forward. Stephen Freud tries to get towards the byline. Giggs is coming back to cover. Little back heel. Steve Carr chips it inside the penalty area. Too long for Dominguez. Not long enough for Sherwood at the far post. And bounces down for Beckham. Schmeichel brings the ball out towards Beckham, flicking it through the midfield. It's perfect ball for York, who just got that little bit deeper to receive it. Back to Beckham, challenged by Anderton, out towards Scholes. Scholes onto his left foot, brings the ball forward. Still Paul Scholes from Manchester United. Anderton sliding in. Knocks the ball down towards his near side. Here's Sherwood. Tim Sherwood through the midfield. Skipper of Blackburn when they won the title 4 years ago. Out towards the far side. Ronnie Jonsson sliding in. And it goes out, or just kept in on that far side by Ferdinand. In fact, Ferdinand collected the ball and then put it out. So that's the best of both worlds. And the throw to be taken on that far touchline by Manchester United's Dennis Irwin. Half an hour gone, a third of the way through. Manchester United not a third of the way there. They trailed Tottenham by 1-0.
They do indeed, but they are the better side of the two. They are the one pushing forward, but and that's what happens. You're playing at home, you're making all the play, and the other team get down the other end, and the first chance they get to put it in the net. They've got to keep cool. They've been in this situation before. They know what to expect.
David May, forward towards Dwight York on this near touchline. You think of some of the games they played here this season. They've come back from defeat. York will pick the ball up on this near side. A suspicion of a foul. Referee allowed play to continue. Roy Keane has its central position, 30 yards out towards the left-hand side for Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs left-footed ball inside the penalty area. Scholes flick out of York, takes a step in towards goal. Sheringham couldn't quite get there because Edinburgh sticks it over the bar, and it'll be another corner to Manchester United.
Well, they worked it well again on the left-hand side. The cross came in, and it missed everybody. Paul Scholes managed to just poke the ball home, hit one of the Tottenham players, but there was nobody there to take advantage of it in the end. He put it out for the corner.
Beckham swings the ball in. Keane on the end of it. Walker comes out, and it came off Walker's hand onto Keane's head and over the bar for a goal kick. It should be taken away to the right-hand side. The United goal has only had one shot on it, and it went in. The Spurs goal has led a charmed life, but nothing's beaten Ian Walker so far. It's Manchester United 0, Spurs 1, and it's still 0-0 at Highbury. Arsenal against Aston Villa, and we'll be back there very shortly for the details of how things are going down there. As it stands, though, United will win the title if it stays 0-0 at Arsenal and 1-0 to Tottenham here. What an ironic way to win the title that would be. Jonsson flicks the ball off the back of his head away to Peter Schmeichel, who will bring the ball outside his penalty area and prepares to knock it long. Right-footed over the halfway line. He just waits for players to push forward. He swings it out towards the far touch, and again the Spurs fans cry, come on Villa, let's go back to Highbury. Andy Cheel.
Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0, still the score at Highbury, but every man, woman and child inside this stadium knows the score from Old Trafford. Every man, woman and child inside Highbury stood and cheered as one, as if every one of them had a radio attached to their ears. Everyone knows the score here. The atmosphere at Highbury has totally changed. It was nerves jangling beforehand. Now they know it's game on at Old Trafford, and very much game on here as Arsenal continue to dominate. But there's a chance here for Villa. Skimica just wide of the post, and that's the first chance that Villa have had in this game, really. Everything else has gone Arsenal's way. A couple of shots in the last 2 minutes. One from Lundberg, half hit over the bar, and Parlour with a ferociously struck right footer, also over the bar from 20 yards. But they know what's going on at Old Trafford as well as what's going on here. Arsenal dominating. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0.
Teddy Sheringham goes through Jose Dominguez like the proverbial dose. And it'll be a free kick which will be taken by Tottenham. He got a yellow card a few moments ago, Teddy Sheringham, for a change that wasn't as bad as that. Thankfully, he didn't get another one there. 0-0, as Chile was saying at Arsenal. Here it's 1-0 to Tottenham. But at the moment, so far so good, I guess. Anderson towards the edge of the penalty area. Everson brings the ball down. Anderson thinks about a right-footed shot. He was never going to have the angle there as he ran onto it. He puts his hand up and puts his hand to his head as if to say it was close. It was miles away. Big goal kick which will be taken by Peter Schmeichel away to our left-hand side. 12 minutes to go to half-time. Manchester United 0, Spurs 1. And the Premiership title is here. Ian Napier, the Chief Executive of Bass Brewers, and Dave Richards, the Chairman of the Premier League, waiting, expecting, I guess, at 4 o'clock when the game kicks off to be presenting the title to Manchester United. They may still be, but United are doing it the hard way. Here's Giggs breaking forward on the left-hand side. Ryan Giggs forward towards the edge of the box. York lets it run. Scores! Great save, Walker! Fantastic save, Sheringham back, he scores! Another great save by Walker. Campbell hammers it clear. And somehow, Ian Walker twice denied Paul Scholes. The first a magnificent save. And still United can't get through. Gary Neville right-hand side. Sheringham, left-footed ball inside the box. York tries to bring it down, twisting and turning. Giggs in space. Left-hand side of the penalty area. Sees it across. Beckham over the bar with a header. And it's still 1-0 to Tottenham.
That is unbelievable. There's 3 chances. 2 of them should have scored it. The first one was a good save. Scholes should have scored his second attempt, and then the header from David Beckham over the bar. But they are playing good stuff, and they just got to keep it cool. It will come.
Confirmation of an event down at Highbury. Arsenal taking on Aston Villa. It's still 0-0 there, but Dennis Bergkamp's hit the post for Arsenal with a free kick. It remains 0-0. It's 1-0 to Tottenham here at Old Trafford with 10.5 minutes to go to half-time. Les Ferdinand's goal. The ball played through the midfield, and it's a free kick which will be taken by United. Freund is furious. So is Everson. Sheringham out towards the left-hand side. Giggs, left-footed ball, flick forward for York. York twisting and turning back towards Keane. Keane out towards the left-hand side for Dennis Irwin. You get the feeling in the goal's coming. Irwin onto his left foot, swings it inside the box. York goes for the little flick. Scholes is in there again. Campbell and Sherwood between them can get it away. Already heads in hands from the United fans. Everson down towards his near touchline. Play behind Gary Neville. Dominguez is quick, but he pushed Gary Neville, and there'll be a free kick which will be taken on this near touchline. Gary Neville went to ground, flicking the ball out of play as he did so. A free kick which will be taken by Neville on this near touchline. 10 to go to half time. It's 1-0 to Tottenham.
Now there's so much happening in it. There's so much excitement, particularly in the last 3 or 4 minutes. But you've got to keep going. There's a long, long way to go in this game.
It remains 1-0 to Spurs. Campbell brings the ball out of defence. Beckham went in there very firmly. Sherwood on this near touchline, onto his right foot, laid back to Steve Carr. Edinburgh's left-footed ball forward, chested down by May, and we'll turn it back towards Peter Schmeichel away to our left-hand side. Live and exclusive on Century 105, right across the Northwest. Next season, every domestic Manchester United game will be right here. Dominguez brings the ball forward. To his right is Anderton, who wants it. Jose Dominguez goes alone. Left-footed shot in the end. Well wide of Peter Schmeichel's left-hand post, but Anderton was in a great position to receive the ball that had been knocked square.
Yeah, there was a lot of situations like that against Blackburn on Wednesday night where the midfield had got behind United's midfield and were running at the back 4, and there was just last-ditch defending that saved the day on that occasion. He decided just to have a go, have a punch off. Got hold of it well, but didn't get it on target.
Near touchline, York has it again, and it just rolls out of play for throw, which will be taken by Justin Edinburgh on this near side. 9 minutes to go to half-time. Manchester United 0, Spurs 1. Dominguez just lays the ball back to Edinburgh. Edinburgh through the midfield for Sherwood. Sherwood challenged well by Keane. Roy Keane brings it forward. Right-hand side of the penalty area. He's got goal side. Sheringham in the centre, ball back for York. Unbelievable save again, this time by Carr. Sliding on the edge of the 6-yard box to get it clear. But if anyone thought that Tottenham were going to come to Manchester and lie down and die, well, that one has been certainly put to boot. Because Carr then made an unbelievable saving challenge on the edge of the 6-yard box. High ball by Schmeichel down towards his near side. Beckham flicks it back in. York chests it down, back to Beckham, right-hand touchline, swings it inside the penalty area. Giggs on the far post. York on the end of his Sheringham, and then Campbell's down and gets it clear for Tottenham. Out towards the far side, over Everson, who brings it down and tries to cut inside Ronnie Johnson. Just for a moment, 2 against 2. Ferdinand lays it back. Freund adds some weight to the support. Out towards the right-hand touchline. Steve Carr brings it forward. Still Tottenham bring it forward with Anderson this time. In towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Everson, right-footed shot. Great sliding block. Comes in from Gary Neville. It's a Spurs corner.
Well, it's end-to-end stuff, and that's it. The second, that was a half chance, Everton. He could have hit it first time. I don't think any of the United players would have gotten near him. He would have got the shot on target. But the midfield is getting back so tamely and so slowly that they just broke very easy, and they had a couple of men over on that occasion.
Spurs second corner, news of a goal from the northeast. Newcastle 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. Jason Wilcox scoring for Rovers. In comes the corner towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Ronnie Johnson off the back of his head. And down towards the near touch line for Tim Sherwood. Sherwood challenged by Sheringham. Right-footed ball. Good ball. Is it just going to bend into the run of Anderton? Not quite. He flicked the ball. He could keep it in, but he couldn't stay on his feet in the process. And York, the furthest United man back, lays it short for Peter Schmeichel. Right-footed over the top. Spurs leading 1-0. It's 0-0 at Arsenal, and that means that United win the title on goal difference if it stays this one. Goal scored, should I say, if it stays this way. High ball play forward by Walker. Offside. York played everyone offside. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No. Well, he was the one that picked the ball up on the pass was originally played through by Sherwood.
Here it is again, chipped over the top by Sheringham. Out towards the far side. Carr's little back header behind Ian Walker. Manchester United have corner number 7. Trailing 1-0, but they did hit the post after 7 minutes, and it's number 7, David Beckham, that goes across to take the corner on that far touchline. 6.5 minutes to go before half-time. Ball spotted down. York on the edge of the 6-yard box. Giggs makes a run towards the near post. In it comes. David May's header! And Walker is there just on his line to watch the ball over his bar. Swung on his bar, monkey style, and just hit the roof of the net. The header from David May, and it remains 1-0 to Tottenham, and the place is very, very, very nervous.
Yeah, but it's not at half-time yet. Problem is that the players are getting free headers, and they're wasting the opportunities. When we had a lot of corners for United at Blackburn, they didn't make good use of them. And again today, we're having chances, and you can't afford to keep on missing because they stop coming.
Ball knocked away, right-footed, and it'll be cleared. Scholes to Keane. Keane down towards this near touchline. Tottenham have it again with Freund. Freund to Dominguez. Dominguez 2 yards in from the left-hand touchline. Just flicks the ball back towards Justin Edinburgh. Edinburgh to Sherwood. Sherwood right-footed across the midfield. Steve Carr just brings the ball down onto his right foot, onto Everson in the midfield. And the ball kept in by Dennis Irwin and then by Ryan Giggs, but only back to Everson again. Flick back over the top, and the offside flag is up. And we'll bring in use of a goal at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea leading Derby by 1-0. Celestine Babillaro's 4th of the season for Chelsea, who, if they just had a better April, could still have gone into today with a chance of winning the title themselves. As it is, it's Man United 0, Spurs 1. Arsenal Villa is 0-0. And that means, as we keep saying, but it's worth just keeping reminding you, despite the fact that United are losing at the moment, with Arsenal being 0-0, that's enough, as long as United don't concede another one, to win the title. And they'd win it not on goal difference, but on goals scored with identical goal difference. Gary Neville sends it back to Peter Schmeichel. There's no way this game here is going to end 1-0 to Tottenham, though. Peter Schmeichel will bring the ball outside his own penalty area. Solskjaer on this near touchline just begins to warm up. Phil Neville's been warming up for a while. And Spurs have got one of their youngsters warming up on this near touchline as well. Beckham with a free kick, right-footed, beds inside the penalty area, knocked away by John Scales. May brings it down, not very convincingly. The ball spooned off his knee. Freund will bring it forward. 3 against 3 for a moment. Tottenham with Anderton. Sherwood sprinting forward. Everson has come forward to join him as well. Irwin stuck his foot in, but Everson has it. And Dominguez is in acres of space on this near side. Shot came in from Everson. Spilled by Schmeichel, but Sherwood couldn't get on the end of it. Knocked forward. York and Campbell went up for the same ball. The referee allows play to continue. Ferdinand out towards the far side. Anderton back to Scales. Scales back out towards Ferdinand. Flick ball over the top. Ronnie Johnson lets it run. Schmeichel picks it up. Another goal at Preston. Preston 1, Gillingham 1. Robert Taylor scores for Gillingham. That a bad piece of news as far as Preston fans are concerned. 1-1. They face a trip down to Kent on Wednesday. Not with a first leg advantage. They're late on there at Deepdale. Man United 0, Spurs 1, approaching the end of the first half here. And it hasn't been the most boring first half that we've seen all season.
No, it's been exciting, Jim. And you know, they're playing well. And don't get carried away here and because they haven't got a goal. And we know how vital it is that they win. They've got to, as I said, they've got to keep cool and keep playing the game. And the chances will come and they've got to take them as well.
King's dummy in midfield was a little bit sore. It would have been a good dummy if there'd been a man making a run behind him. And the ball will be played forward. Bozo's brought down. Here's Giggs breaking forward. York in the centre, laid back to Scholes. Scholes, 18 yards out. Here's David Beckham. Beckham, what a goal! David Beckham for Manchester United gets the equalising goal. Playing inside the penalty area. Magnificent ball to Beckham. Steadied himself, hit it right-footed. Walker got a hand to it, but it flicked the inside of the post and kissed the side of the net. Manchester United 1, Spurs 1. They've got the vital first goal, and if they score again, they've won the title.
Well, that was a fantastic move. Paul Scholes won the ball in midfield. He played it to Ryan Giggs. made his way forward, was pulled back to Scholes. It looked like he was going to have a shot. But on the left side, David Beckham came on the right-hand side, picked the ball up, and he just had the goalkeeper to beat, but it was a tight angle, but he cracked the ball. The keeper got a hand to it. The ball ended up in the top corner of the net.
And the Spurs fans, are you watching Arsenal? Well, I know who they want to win, and it isn't their side today. Ball out of play on that far touchline. The referee spotted an infringement. It's a challenge on Everson. It'll be a free kick, which will be taken by Spurs. Goal at Highfield Road. Coventry 0. Leeds United Reserves 1. Clyde Vinehard scoring his 4th of the season for Leeds. That towards the far touchline will be played forward once more and be brought forward on this near touchline by Dwight York. York down towards Beckham on this near touchline, and Beckham brings it forward, flanks it over the top. Giggs runs onto it, chests it down, left it for Sheringham, could have left it for Sheringham, didn't in the end, and then Carr will turn onto it and knock it right-footed and out of play on that far side. Throw will be taken over on that far side. In fact, a little bit of push and shove from Ryan Giggs. It will be a free kick which will be taken by Tottenham, and the whole mood has changed here at Old Trafford. The fact that they've scored one, and now I think it will be a second half procession to the touch. Don't laugh at me, Frank Stapleton.
Oh, I told you not to panic.
I wasn't panicking.
You know, they were playing so well. They just had to get a goal, and as I say, it was the most difficult chance they've had, and David Beckham scores with it. But they're playing very well, and the crowd are right behind them. And as I say, it's all set up for them to go on, but they still have a game to play. And Tottenham, as you said, are not just sitting back and accepting that just accepting their fate. They're going to go, and they're competing for it.
Who's panicking, by the way?
You.
55,000 round me were panicking. Ball played forward. York slides the ball out towards the left-hand side. Dennis Irwin moves those old legs down towards the corner flag, wins the throw, taken short. Giggs gives him the return ball. Dennis Irwin's right-footed in swinging cross, headed away by Scales, a yard this side of the penalty spot. Gary Neville down towards this near side. Teddy Sheringham, one touch onto his right foot, plays the ball back across. Sherwood hammers it clear, chested down by Everson. Everson to Ferdinand, gets the return ball. Everson has only got David May between him and goal. Keane has dropped back though, sticks his foot in. Everson is desperate to score today. Down towards his near touchline, Dominguez will bring the ball forward past Gary Neville, but then sliding in, the right back stuck his foot in well enough to steer it out of play for a throw to be taken on this near side. Short towards this near side for Dominguez. Referee Uriah Rennie, or fourth official Uriah Rennie, should I say, says there'll be 2 minutes of injury time to be played as Sproin bends one in right-footed. It comes off David May and out of play for Tottenham's third corner.
Yeah, but it's just mainly on the counter-attack. Tottenham, that's when they look dangerous, but United have got the momentum. It's too close, obviously. We're getting close to half-time, and you would have thought that without a half-time we'd just go on and they really overtake or run over Tottenham, but the break, just hopefully they could pick it up in the second half. So of course they have to get this away and not concede a goal before half-time.
In comes the corner towards the near post, headed down, and it almost set up for Dominguez, but then nipping in to get it clear. Teddy Sheringham did some magnificent defensive work. How many times we've said that this season? Edinburgh flicks it over the top. Everson goes up for it, brings it down. Sol Campbell right for his shot. I think it hit Ferdinand. Be played back in over the top by Scales, and the offside flag's up, and United will have a free kick. Half-time at Anfield, Liverpool leading Wimbledon 1-0. Blackburn a goal up at Newcastle. Everton a goal down at Southampton. Southampton staying up at the moment. Marion Pahars with that, and Charlton, who have to win today, 0-0 at home at Sheffield Wednesday. And half-time at Highbury, Arsenal Aston Villa 0-0 at the break. The ball played forward by Gary Neville, flicked on by Sheringham. Sheringham to York. York to Beckham. Beckham a yard to the right-hand touchline. Chips the ball inside the penalty area, knocked away by Sol Campbell, brought down by Dominguez. Just suckered David Beckham into committing himself on this near touchline. Dominguez brings it forward, 1-1 in injury time. Dominguez got no options, but has brought it forward some 50 yards. Out towards the right-hand side now. Placing Darren Anderton. Chip ball back over the top. Brought down by Sherwood. Sherwood ball over the top. Ferdinand threatened just to get in goal side. And Johnson hammered it away. Short in the last few seconds of the first half. And the referee puts us out of our misery with Tottenham attacking down the left with Justin Edinburgh. The half-time whistle goes. It's United 1, Tottenham 1.
Century Sport with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
Well, they had a decent succession of chances in the first few minutes, did Manchester United. Most notably, Dwight York hitting the post when Ian Walker's clearance came back off the Tobagan shin and came back off the inside of the post straight into Ian Walker's hand. But then Giggs had a header save, York had a cross shot right across the face of goal, go just wide, and then completely against the script, Spurs scored a long ball over the top. Ferdinand running in left-hand side of the penalty area, lobbed it in off the far post, and Spurs were ahead. Then a triple save or a triple chance for Manchester United as they chased their treble. Scholes with a right-footed thunderbolt saved brilliantly by Walker. He then had another effort which was saved as he fired it in from a side angle. The ball was played back in by Giggs, and Beckham headed over the bar. May also headed over the bar. Stephen Everson had an effort blocked by Gary Neville at the other end before United's equalised 2 minutes before half-time. Scholes selflessly and patiently knocking the ball square to Beckham, who took one touch and fired it in just inside the far post, kissing the woodwork on its way through. And at the break, it's 0-0 at Arsenal and 1-1 at Old Trafford.
Well, I've really enjoyed the first half. I don't think you have. You've been a little bit on tick-off, but United have played well. Apart from that one blemish, the goal, and the one other shot from Tottenham, which Schmeichel parried away. United has been all United. It's played some lovely one-touch football. Passing and movement is brilliant. I just think that they've just got to keep that up in the second half when the goals are coming, but they have to take the chances. Really, it should be 4-1 up at half-time. But I'm sure the manager will just say, keep it going, keep things going the same, keep the movement going, and get that ball in the box. Because Ian Walker, the most significant chance in that first half, and you probably didn't, I don't know whether you noticed it so much, was when Roy Keane headed over the bar. Walker actually missed the cross. Then after that, he stopped everything that was thrown on, even got a hand to the goal. But I think that United are playing well, and they will win it in the second half. It's just got to keep patient, and things will happen because they're playing so well.
Ferdinand on 25, Beckham on 43, 1-1 here. Let's go to Highbury. Half-time details from Andy Shields.
Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0. It's been all Arsenal for 45 minutes. They rained in shots and headers from the first whistle to the half-time whistle. Vieira's seen a header booted off the line by Simon Grayson. Southgate was perfectly placed to head away Bergkamp's beautifully curled free kick from 25 yards, with Oakes again beaten. Overmars has twice gone close, cutting in from the left. The first shot saw Oakes in the Villa goal save with his leg, and the second time the shot flashed a foot or so wide. Parler's twice tried his luck from outside the box, but couldn't keep either shot down. News of the Spurs goal at Old Trafford was greeted by a huge roar around Highbury, but the United equaliser has taken the air out of the ball here at Highbury. It's Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0.
At half-time at the bottom, Southampton lead Everton 1-0. They're staying up if it stays like that. Half-time also at the bottom, Charlton Sheffield Wednesday's 0-0. Liverpool lead Wimbledon by 1-0. And Blackburn are a goal up at Newcastle. We'll bring you all the half-time scores and details next on Century 105.
Live from Old Trafford, full match commentary on Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh, what a great turn. Steady and assured, great control, and whoosh!
Yes, Bob. Let's see that in virtual reality. Super slow motion, widescreen, surround sound from a reverse angle using the ball cam.
Shut the Ford car looks good from any angle, Ron.
Get more out. Get into the car at your Northwest Ford dealer now.
From north,
South.
from east.
The West. For just £2.
Did you realise that you could be making a mobile phone call right now for only 2p a minute? Think what that would mean. No clock watching because of the cost. Miles would shrink because that's just 2p a minute for both local and national calls during the evenings and at weekends, whether you're a post-pay or pre-pay customer. The revolution is here. 1-to-anytime time plans from 1-to-1 at The Phone People. The Phone People. 0800 456 0800.
1-to-anytime tariffs are subject to status, connection and a monthly service charge. A minimum term contract applies.
David! Vince wins, stylish slur. How are things going?
Well, the team's still winning. The Ferrari's brilliant. But the new baby's fine. Oh, and I'm looking forward to the wedding.
And how's the new pad?
That's the problem.
What do you mean?
Well, where am I going to find 100,000 rolls of top-quality wallpaper?
There's really only one place you can go.
The Discount Wallpaper Massive Spring Spectacular's on now. Over 100,000 rolls of top-quality wallpaper at giveaway prices. From Shan Kid luxury ready-pasted vinyl at less than half price to Crown and Colour Roll end of lines at just $2.99. Discount Wallpaper is beckoning you at Blackburn, Haywood and Mosersgate.
Gotta go, Manhattan needs his feed.
Well, they asked me to search through 25 years of live recordings by Chubby Brown to find something the authorities would allow us to broadcast. And this is it.
That's the last clean short arm, Terence
Plus this bit.
If you're that important, there seems to be facing you, you ugly.
Roy Chubby Brown's brand new show, live at the Tameside Hippodrome, Ashton-under-Lyne, this Thursday and Friday. For tickets, call the Hippodrome box office. See the bits we couldn't put in any of the videos.
See ya!
Live from Old Trafford, full match commentary on Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur. Half-time scoreboard on Century 105 with your local North West Ford dealer.
Like this, Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0, Charlton 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Chelsea 1, Derby 0, Coventry 0, Leeds 1, Liverpool 1, Wimbledon 0, Manchester United 1, Spurs 1, Newcastle 0, Blackburn Rovers 1, Nottingham Forest Leicester 0-0, Southampton 1, Everton 0, and West Ham 2, Middlesbrough 0. Let's bring you some details. We've heard from Highbury. You've heard the first 45 minutes exclusively live for the North West from here at Old Trafford. Next we'll go to Anfield. Liverpool against Wimbledon. Here's Ian Smith.
The half-time scoreline, Liverpool 1, Wimbledon 0. The first half played at a frenetic pace with Liverpool dominating possession and working some slick one-touch passing moves down both flanks. McManaman's enjoying his last game in front of the Kop, roaming freely and eager to be involved in everything they create. But it was Patrick Berger who broke the deadlock on 11, latching onto a little chip over a square-looking Don's defence. One touch to control before belting home his 9th of the season. Wheeler should have made it 2 before the break, denied though by a flying save from Sullivan, whose long kicks had produced Wimbledon's biggest threat. The aerial prowess of Hartson and Court, always a danger as the Dons tried to counter. Comfortable enough so far for the Reds, you just get the impression the home fans' attentions are focused elsewhere. Half-time scoreline, Liverpool 1, Wimbledon 0.
It's finished the second division playoff game at Deepdale. Preston North End 1, Gillingham 1. David Ayres for Preston, but Robert Taylor with a late equaliser for Gillingham, giving the Kent side the advantage for the second leg. 1-1. Preston know they have to score down at Gillingham. Away goals come in after extra time in the playoffs. Okay, next we'll go to the Valley. Charlton, who had to win and hope that Southampton don't. They're taking on Sheffield Wednesday, and a nervy first half for Nigel Bidney.
Charlton 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Charlton have had 4 good chances to break the deadlock, but they've missed 3 of them and had the other one ruled out for offside. On 25, a weak clearance from Pavel Sanacek, the Wednesday goalkeeper, gave Graham Stewart a sight of goal, but he lobbed wide. 3 minutes later, Carl Tyler outjumped the Wednesday defence and got on the end of Mark Kinsella's free kick, but directed it away from goal. And then on the half hour, Steve Brown hit the angle again from another free kick. And then right on the stroke of half-time, Clive Mendonca, the centre forward, got the ball into the net, but it was ruled out for offside. It's tense and it's goalless. Charlton 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Next we'll go to Highfield Road. Coventry City against 4th place Leeds United. Half-time details come from Mark Tompkins.
Coventry 0, Leeds 1. Both sides able to enjoy the last game without any pressure. Both playing open football and creating plenty of early chances. The majority falling to the visitors, who just about deserve their lead. Magnus Hedman's been in fine form, denying first Stephen McPhail, then David Weatherall. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank wasted a good chance shooting over from the edge of the area. Hasselbank, though, was instrumental in the Leeds goal, beating the offside trap. His firm low cross from the byline was turned in from just a couple of yards out by Clive Vinehard. For Coventry, Noel Whelan curled an early shot the wrong side of the far post, and a first-time George Boateng volley just missed the target. Half-time at Highfield Road, Coventry 0, Leeds 1.
Not many goals around in the Premiership this afternoon. There have been a couple down in East London. West Ham against Middlesbrough, Gordon Cox.
West Ham 2, Middlesbrough 0. Frank Lampard with the Premiership's first goal of the afternoon. 3 minutes had gone. Low drive from 20 yards. Far towards the Borough keeper Peaton at the near post. Mark Keller making it 2 on 25. Good run from Sinclair, cutting the Borough defence apart. Low cross into the middle. Simple tap in for Keller virtually on the goal line. Sinclair and Keller, as well as causing problems in the penalty box, have struck the bar with good efforts as well. West Ham in complete control. They lead 2-0.
And we'll stay in London, go Stamford Bridge. Chelsea leading Derby at the break. Paul Ashton.
Chelsea 1, Derby 0. Constant Chelsea pressure was finally rewarded in the 40th minute when Celestine Fabayaro scored the Blues' opening goal. The left-sided midfielder latched onto Dennis Wise's right-wing corner that had drifted over the Derby defence to strike the ball from 15 yards out. Derby keeper Mark Poom got an outstretched hand on the ball, but could only deflect it into the net. Di Matteo and Poyet have had a succession of long-range efforts that have either been well saved by Poom or have drifted just wide of the target. At half-time here at Stamford Bridge, it's Chelsea 1, Derby 0.
Now to the City Ground, Nottingham Forest against Leicester City. Forest promotion, well, Forest Premiership swan song, should I say. Mark Regan.
Nottingham Forest 0, Leicester City 0 here at the City Ground in the first half. Nottingham Forest playing by far the better football. 3 great chances, 2 great saves from Peggy Arfexet, and 1 goal line clearance from Robbie Savage have kept the Forest attack at bay. Doogie Freeman unlucky on 2 occasions. It was his shot that was cleared off the line by Savage. He also forced a great save off Peggy Arfexet after a great run from Ugo Porfirio. And Marlon Harewood too also forced Peggy Arfexet into action. At the other end, Tony Cottee has only been restricted to 1 or 2 half chances for Leicester City, who seem to be a yard off the pace for some reason this afternoon. Half time at the City Ground, Nottingham Forest 0, Leicester City 0.
Manchester United 1, Spurs 1 here. Don't forget, tomorrow morning on Morgan's Breakfast Show, the lines open from 7:30 a.m. for you to bid for 2 tickets for the European Cup final. Tickets for the best seats in the house in the new camp. Security travel to and from the ground. Flights from Manchester, 2 nights in the 5-star hotel. The bidding starts 7:30 tomorrow morning with Morgan, and we bid in £1,000 blocks for the Century Radio Community Trust. And the usual number, 0161 400 0000, the same number on which Frank will take calls, hopefully, after we've seen the Premiership trophy paraded here round Old Trafford. That's going to happen. United, well, certainly know that if they score 1 more than Tottenham in the second half, they'll be there at the break, 1-1, and we're back with the whole of the second half exclusively live from the Northwest next on Century 105.
Live from Old Trafford, the second half, with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
Which Premiership club's badge features an elephant standing on a football?
And United have booked their place in the European Cup final in Barcelona. Well, what can you say, Ron?
Fancy me driving!
For matchless excitement, test drive a new Ford at your Northwest Ford dealer now.
Never give people a free lunch, I told him.
Oh, you're right.
So he says, what about the AA? If you pay £43 to be a member, then your partner can get a year's cover for just £15.
So what did you say?
Well, I had to sack him. I know he's your son, George, but I won't have my employees lying to me.
He's no son of mine.
As a member of the AA, your partner can be covered for only £15. To our members, we're more than a business. We're the fourth emergency service. To join now, call 0800 444 999. That's 0800 444 999.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Have you seen the 70s sensation, Oh What a Night?
Excellent, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Oh, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was
Brilliant. Very good performance.
It was really good, yeah, wonderful.
Very good.
Catch Kid Creole, Hollyoaks, Will Mellor and John Osman alias EastEnders Nick Cotton in the ultimate 70s musical. Oh, What a Night at the Manchester Opera House until the 19th of June. Call the box office now on 0161 242 2509. Oh, What a Night with Century 105.
The club with the elephant standing on the football on their badge, Coventry City.
Live from Old Trafford, the second half. Century 105 Sport, the story so far. Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur.
Sol Campbell back towards Ian Walker. Ball bounced in front of him inside the penalty area. Oh, and he's almost put it in the net. It's off the post and Walker makes the save. Walker hits the ball, charged out on Dwight York and ricocheted. Took an age to wander its way through the 6-yard box. Came back up the inside of the post. Ball brought down. Everson left-footed over the bar. High ball played over the top. Left-hand side. Les Ferdinand's there. Peter Schmeichel just caught in no man's land. Oh, Ferdinand's flicked it over him. It's in off the inside of the post. Tottenham have scored. It's Manchester United's title dream. Gonna come to nothing. Les Ferdinand scores for Spurs. They lead 1-0. Giggs breaking forward on the left-hand side. Ryan Giggs ball towards the edge of the box. York lets it run. Scores! Great save, Walker. Fantastic save. Sherry Bucky scores. Another great save by Walker. Campbell hammers it clear. York tries to bring it down, twisting and turning. Giggs is fake. space. Left-hand side of the penalty area. Keeps it across. Beckham over the bar with a header. Sherwood challenged well by Key. Roy Key brings it forward. Right-hand side of the penalty area. He's got goal save. Sheringham in the centre. Ball back for York. Unbelievable save again, this time by Carr. Giggs breaking forward. York in the centre. Laid back to Scholes. Scholes 18 yards out. Here's David Beckham. Beckham. What a goal! David Beckham for Manchester United.
Century Sport with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
So 1-1 then here at half-time. We've got plenty of coffee to try and calm the nerves. United 1, Spurs 1. The whole of the second half exclusively live for the Northwest on Century 105 coming in. They've kicked off at Highbury. Arsenal Villa 0-0 at half-time with the back underway there. Let's bring you the details from St James's Park. Newcastle against Blackburn Rovers. John Temple.
Half-time at St James's Park, it's Newcastle United 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. Jason Wilcox giving Blackburn Rovers the lead 8 minutes before the break after Ashley Ward did the donkey work pulling the ball back and Wilcox left foot shot did the rest going past Steve Harper. No Shearer, no Ferguson for Newcastle. They're lacking a cutting edge as you might expect in front of goal. Hammond's volley though brilliantly saved by Phelan and Marich had penalty claims turned aside before that. Blackburn though could be going out of the Premiership on a high. They lead Newcastle United at half-time by 1-0. Newcastle 0, Blackburn 1.
And to the Dell, Southampton against Everton, Peter Hood. Can't go there just at the moment, in fact, but it is 1-0 to Southampton. Marian Pahard, the Latvian that they struggle to get a work permit for, has got the goal which could keep them in the Premiership. Southampton haven't won on the last day of the season since 1978. We'll bring you details at full-time of Southampton against Everton. Just about to start the second half here at Old Trafford. Manchester United bringing Andy Cole on for the start of the second half. And Teddy Sheringham misses out.
Well, maybe that was what the manager had in mind all the time. I don't know. I thought Sheringham had a good first half. But nevertheless, maybe he'll be able to be a bit livelier after that first half. United finish the half on top. And hopefully he can try to create or score the goal that's going to take the championship to Old Trafford.
Dwight York and Andy Cole inside the centre circle. United red shirts, white shorts and black socks, kicking from right to left towards the Stretford end. And Teddy Sheringham comes out for the second half, only to watch from this near touchline, and acknowledges the support of the Manchester United fans in this near side. The ball played over the top. Knocked away by Campbell. Scores out towards the far side. Gary Neville slides in. Brought back through the midfield, though, by Sherwood. Out towards the left-hand side, the far side from us. Here's the smallest man on the pitch, Jose Dominguez. The Portuguese international running at Gary Neville. Gary Neville shows him outside. Still Dominguez goes down inside the penalty area. And the referee gives a goal kick to Manchester United and will tell Dominguez to cut that out.
Yeah, he just dived, didn't he? He obviously knew that he'd knocked the ball too far. I think Gary Neville did catch him, but I think it's the diving element. Fortunately, the referee wasn't calling, and the guy's got a little bit of a reputation for that. I think he'd be better off just going to try and get the ball across it. Waste of time, really.
Ball will be played out towards the far touchline, out for a throw. It should be taken on that far side, and it will be taken by Spurs once more. Justin Attenborough hurling it forward. 1-1 here, 0-0. We've got a couple of minutes ahead of us in the game down in North London at Highbury. Ball headed by Sol Campbell out towards the far touchline. Beckham goes up for it. Nodded down on that far side by Edinburgh. Here's Ferdinand, scorer of the Spurs goal. Back through the midfield for Tim Sherwood. Sherwood out towards Dominguez, but the ball will never get there. It rolls far too far ahead of him and out of play for throw. It should be taken by Gary Neville on that far side. 47 goal Manchester United 1, Spurs 1. Live and exclusive on Century 105 with your local Northwest Ford dealer. The fastest growing football station anywhere in the country. Down towards this near touchline. It'll be brought forward by Steve Carr. Carr, 125th Spurs appearance today. Anderton plays it forward over the head of Everson, and it will be bounced back over the head of Tottenham's leading scorer this season away towards Peter Schmeichel, who will wait. Bounce the ball down once and then hit it right-footed. A low trajectory skidding ball which takes a skip up the surface on the halfway line. Knocked away by Scales before it got to Cole. Cole backs into Scales somewhat as he climbs high and does well to flick it on towards Dwight York. Down towards his near touch on the Giggs. Left-footed ball hit over the top. Scales has missed it. Beckham far touchline. Can't get there. Far side of the penalty area, should I say. Edinburgh gets it away. Down to play for Manchester United throw on that far side.
I was a bit surprised. It was a good early ball in from Giggs. It was all one-touch stuff and nobody actually moved. I was so surprised it came in so quickly. If anybody had been alert there, it would have been a half chance.
Scholes down towards the far touchline. Left-footed ball hit over the top by Gary Neville. Cole's got onside. Goal over Ian Walker. And he scores the goal that will win the FA Carling Premiership title for Manchester United. 3 minutes after coming on as a substitute. Got on the end of the flick ball inside the box. Flicked it over the onrushing Ian Walker, and Cole has scored the most precious goal of Manchester United's season. Manchester United 2, Spurs 1. Hail the 1998-99 English League champions.
Well, the ball, it came from nothing really. Gary Neville was forced inside, and just to clip the ball with his left foot. Cole got between the two centre-backs, controlled the ball instantly. As the keeper came out, he just lobbed it into the empty net. Fantastic, and I think United will run away with it now.
Out on the far touchline, Roy Keane has it. It'll be a free kick which will be taken on this near touchline for a handball against one of the Spurs men. Another goal at Anfield. Liverpool in Wimbledon by 2-0. Karl-Heinz Riedler breaks his long goal-scoring drought, which went back to that game against Newcastle between Christmas and New Year. But here it's 2-1 to United. Andy Cole, who's only scored twice in his last 10 before today, gets his 24th of the season, his 82nd for United, and the 179th goal of his career. The former Arsenal man scores the goal which is set to keep the title, or get the title back from Highbury and bring it up here to Old Trafford. Ball out of play. Throw will be taken on this near side by Tottenham. Stefan Freund to take it. Man United 2, Spurs 1. And United are going to be champions. Freund with a throw from this near touchline. Long throw in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Campbell's little flick. Flick towards goal by Everson, but he couldn't really get much of a touch on it. And will bounce through towards Peter Schmeichel away to the right-hand side. And Old Trafford singing like it hasn't sung all season.
Yeah, well, they've got plenty to celebrate, haven't they, in a few minutes? As I say, just a little indicator there. United just like to sit back on things. Tottenham will come and accept anything they give them. But I think they should go on now. They've taken the tension out of the game. They've been playing good stuff, and just keep going and take the chances as they come.
High ball played over the top by Spurs once more. Down towards the far touchline. Ronnie Johnson's on the end of it. Left-footed back pass will find Peter Schmeichel, although he had to rush out somewhat towards the edge of his penalty area, take a couple of hasty steps. Cole, the goal scorer, just leans into John Scales. Play continues. Giggs, high ball over the top. Scales recovered and headed it away. Scholes misjudged it, came through the midfield, and Anderson will play it down towards Tim Sherwood. Another goal at Newcastle. Newcastle 1, Blackburn Rovers 1. And the goal scorer for Newcastle, Dietmar Hammann's 5th goal of the season. Newcastle 1, Blackburn 1. Out towards the far touchline. Spurs with Jose Dominguez running towards the edge of the box. Still Dominguez, left-footed ball came off the back of Gary Neville. Bounces down to Dominguez once more. Left-footed ball whipped in with pace from Edinburgh. Headed away at the back by Ronnie Johnson. Down towards the near touchline. Still Tottenham had it. Bring it forward. Steve Carr. Corner of the penalty area. Runs at Ryan Giggs. Gets outside him. Giggs did well to slide in, but Carr will still be able to bring the ball away. Then Dennis Irwin sticks his foot in and will do well to get past Anderson. Anderson, though, just wins possession back down towards this near touchline. Anderson left-footed through the midfield to Sherwood. Sherwood to Anderson again. Sherwood makes a run forward towards the edge of the box. Anderson's measured ball across the edge of the penalty area was woeful. Gary Neville could steer a header back towards Peter Schmeichel. We'll be off to Highbury shortly. 0-0 there. Schmeichel's long clearance straight out of play for a throw. It's been taken by Spurs over the edge of their box, and a few of the United players and a few of the United fans telling Peter Schmeichel that perhaps he's got a little bit more time than that. He needlessly surrendered possession. 51 gone. 2-1 to United.
Yeah, I just think that Spurs really, if United just get another goal, they collapse completely, because just saw them before. When that ball was played in, that poor cross was played in, and Neville knocked it back to Peter Schmeichel. Hey, nobody moved for it, and we're just looking at each other saying, well, so what? But, the longer it goes on, you want a bit more of a cushion than just the one, because United have played well today, and they haven't really. It's not on the scoreboard for the United.
Beckham's cross inside Frank Beckham's cross inside the penalty area. It looked as though it was going to thread its way through to Giggs, and Carr's back header was just caught by Walker before the ball rolled out of play for a corner and be brought forward through the midfield. Ferdinand down to Woodward Everson. Everson left-footed, flicked it through the midfield. Keane chested it down and just nipped goal side of Tim Sherwood to knock it away Keane puts his foot on inside the centre circle, lays it back for Gary Neville, stabs it out towards David Beckham. Right-footed ball flicked back over the top by Beckham. On the end of it, John Scales climbs high, nodded through the midfield by Freund to Anderton, down towards Sherwood, who controlled an awkward bouncing ball, flicked it through the midfield for Everson. Everson out towards Dominguez on the far touchline, and Dominguez just let the ball roll away from out of his control for a throw, which is taken quickly by Gary Neville to Beckham. 7.5 minutes into the second half. Manchester United 2, Tottenham 1. Gary Neville brings the ball forward, 5 yards inside his own half. He just waits for players to make a run ahead of him. Cole showing that he wants to deliver it into feet. Went out towards Dwight York on the right-hand touchline. Foot comes in from Justin Edinburgh to lay it back for Sol Campbell. Colossus at the heart of the Tottenham defence knocks it away, and then Keane lost out in the midfield. He felt that Scholes didn't make a sufficient run for him. Anderton will pick the loose ball up and knock it down towards his near side for Carr. Carr onto his right foot, flicks it through the midfield for Anderton. Right foot ball, chips over the top, bounces once instead of in front of Ferdinand, knocked down by Freund, down towards his near touchline. The former Borussia Dortmund man just sees Ferdinand lay it up towards Carr. Carr across towards Sherwood. Sherwood right put it out towards the far side for Tottenham to bring it forward once more with Justin Edinburgh on the left-hand side, pushing forward inside the Manchester United half. Laid short for Dominguez. Dominguez running at David Beckham. Beckham on his heels, just went to grounded Dominguez. It'll be a free kick which will be taken by Tottenham about 15 yards outside the penalty area, and it'll be taken on that far side, and United will get everyone other than Andy Cole back behind the ball to defend.
Yes, they will. And I think this is where Tottenham are more dangerous than anything else. They did, the likes of Everson and Les Ferdinand are very big players, and of course you've got the two centre-backs coming up as well. And United aren't really blessed with too many tall players, and especially when Span is not playing, you just feel that they may be vulnerable in that respect.
The free kick will be bent in by Darren Anderson on the far side. Right-footed hit with plenty of pace towards the near post, but Beckham, who was one member of the wall, knocked it away, and then it was laid back off by Tottenham. Giggs could break forward out of defence and pick it up on that far touchline. Short towards Keane. Keane just keeping his foot on the ball in the right-back position, then laid it across the face of the right-back, Gary Neville to David May. Down for Johnson. Johnson onto his right foot. Solskjaer will warm up on this near touchline more vigorously as Ronnie Johnson plays the ball through the midfield for Keane. Keane over the halfway line of Beckham, back to Keane again, onto his right foot, out to Gary Neville once more, bringing the ball over the halfway line, right-footed. United looking to extend their unbeaten run to 31 and 24 in the league and avoid what would only be their 10th home league defeat in Premiership history. 10th in 7 years, out towards the far touchline. Ball is played through the midfield. Keane will pick it up. Keane back to David May. May turns the ball inside his own half and lays it back to Peter Schmeichel. Ferdinand will play lip service at chasing it. Schmeichel gets it clear, right-footed, out of play in front of the North Stand on that far side. Nodded down by Justin Edinburgh and out for a throw. It should be taken by United on that far touch from Gary Neville. 10 minutes into the second half. It's 2-1 to United. Live on Century 105 with your local Northwest Sport dealer. York flips the ball forward. Beckham was caught late. Play continues. Call out towards York, right-hand side. Giggs in the centre. Arm above his head. Wants it. Laid short to Beckham. Right-footed ball. With inside the penalty area. Flying header came in from Scholes to the near post. And Walker diving down to his right save.
That was a situation again where United, good possession, waiting for the opening. Nice one-foot stuff. And all of a sudden, they're in on the far side. Culminated with a fine header coming in from Paul Scholes, but it was a long way out. The keeper made a good save, but I'd been surprised if he'd have beat him with that.
Cole flicks the ball over the top. York had made a run inside Sol Campbell, and the ball went over Campbell's shoulder. That made it easy for Edinburgh, the left back, just to flick it away towards Ginola, to Sherwood, should I say. Ginola, of course, who went off the field, played for no more than 3.5 minutes, David Ginola, replaced by Jose Dominguez after Ginola went off with a hamstring strain. It's 0-0 still at Highbury. Arsenal against Aston Villa. We will go there for details very shortly. As Anderton rolls the ball out of play with throw to be taken by United on this near touch. And let's go there now. Andy Cheel.
The faithful sit in almost sullen silence as the news comes through from Old Trafford, and they are in despair at this fact that their side cannot get in the lead against an Aston Villa dogged defence. Twice in this second half they've come close, and Vieira, it was on both occasions. The first effort was blocked on the line by Watson, and then Vieira was first to the rebound with a right foot shot that Michael Oakes palmed over the bar. The second half very much following the pattern of the first, with Arsenal dominating and Villa being forced to defend. But it won't matter if that scoreline remains the same at Old Trafford. There's nothing Arsenal can do about it, but they are still in with a faint hope. So they think at Highbury. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0.
Reading between the lines, Arsenal not playing very well there at Highbury. United have been half decent this afternoon. They lead Spurs by 2-1, and they've shown character to come from behind. The ball played forward over the top. Everson looking to flick on towards Anderton. knocked away by United once more through the midfield. But Keane laying it off for Giggs. Giggs brings it forward onto his left foot over the halfway line. Picked up by Dwight York. York on this near touchline. Dominguez lays it off. Or Dominguez put the challenge in and York can get it past him and lay it off to Irwin. Irwin to Keane. Keane back to his compatriot. And cork-form Dennis Irwin fires it over the top, left-footed. The flag's up against David Beckham, who shows his frustration, hands towards his face as he saw the flag and realisation dawned he was clean through. Had the flag not come to Tottenham's rescue. Freund down towards Tim Sherwood. 300 games exactly for Blackburn Rovers. Good sliding challenge from Giggs. Back to Johnson. Johnson onto his right foot through the midfield. Cole out towards the right and touchdown for York. York will bring it forward. Out to his right is Gary Neville. Dwight York pushing forward though, with Gary Neville just making a run out towards the far touchline to receive it. Back onto his right foot. Flicks it away to Scholes. Scholes corner of the penalty area. Still Paul Scholes from Manchester United. Cole and York in the centre. Still Manchester United bringing the ball forward. It'll be picked up by York. York down towards Keane. Keane with Giggs down to his right. Lays the ball short towards David Beckham. Beckham forward. York little dummy. Scholes lays the ball back towards Keane. Irwin on this near touchline. Giggs makes a run inside the penalty area. Everyone backs off Keane. And he just makes a run towards the edge of the box before flicking the way to Scholes. Out towards the right-hand side. Beckham finds Gary Neville. The sliding challenge comes in from Dominguez. And Spurs will win possession back on that far touchline. Just short of the hour played. Edinburgh almost runs it into trouble in the shape of Gary Neville. Knocked away by Campbell. And out down towards David May, away towards the right-hand side. 59 gone. 2-1 to United.
And you are dictating the pace of the game now. And good possession and forward position.
Ball played forward by York to Cole. Good challenge comes in. Scores! Great save by Walker again. Campbell hammers it away left-footed. And what's Paul Scholes got to do to score this afternoon?
Well, I don't know. I've never seen the goalkeeper play it as well as he has done. Walker's just been unbelievable. The save he's made today. And that's 3 now from Paul Scholes. And really, Tottenham should be dead and buried by now.
Beckham ball over the top and the climbing, diving header away from Justin Edinburgh goes out for the throw to be taken by Gary Neville. 0-0 at Highbury, 2-1 United lead here, and that's enough to win Manchester United the title, irrespective of what happens in North London. The throw taken on that far touchline towards the edge of the penalty area. Here's Dwight York, just pulling the ball back towards Giggs. Giggs, great ball through! Roy Keane inside the penalty area, it goes behind Cole! And Spurs will be able to knock the ball clear again on this near touchline. And just this cushion at 2-1 United are going to win the title, but just the third goal would be so reassuring.
Well, I think it would, and maybe it would stop the crowd. There's a little bit of tension in the crowd for obvious reasons, but, you know, that extra goal, and they will totally relax then, and, you know, you'll be looking at United and coasting, and, as I say, they're still playing well, you know, dictating the play, keeping the ball, keeping good possession. But it's, as you say, that little bit of cream on top of the cake now just make all the difference to them with an extra goal.
I guess in one way it's a 2-goal cushion that United have at the moment because of the Arsenal result as well. United could let in 2 here if it stays 0-0 and still win the title. They could lose this one 3-2 if it stays 0-0 at Highbury, or alternatively they could concede 1 to Tottenham, and then Arsenal still have to score to take the title from them, but it's still very nervy. 2-1 it is to United here at the moment, live on Century 105 with your local Northwest Ford dealer, our magnificent sponsor, letting us bring you the games you want to hear. Scholes down towards Giggs. Giggs out towards Dennis Irwin. Irwin tackling the edge of the penalty area. Still Dennis Irwin. Right-footed towards Scholes. Scholes across the midfield for Keane. Keane right-footed ball forward. Beckham out towards the far touchline for Gary Neville. Dominguez goes over there. Gary Neville is there as well. Dominguez just wins the ball and just turns the ball back towards the edge of his own penalty area for Justin Edinburgh, left-footed ball over the top. And let me remind you, of course, that after the game, you can react to the action. 0161 400 0000. Whatever the result, whoever wins the title, and it does look as though it's going to be United now, you can react on 0161 400 0000. Frank, waiting with bated breath to take your calls after the game. Ball knocked away, right-footed by Scales. His 500th career game today. Suspicion of handball against Les Ferdinand. Gets away with it. The striker who seems banned for Fulham. Anderson over the halfway line. Through the midfield. Still Darren Anderson goes. Skips around Roy Keane's challenge. Down towards this near touchline. Steve Carr will bring it forward for Tottenham Hotspur. 15 yards from the right-hand side. Lays it square towards Freund. Freund out towards the far touchline. And backpedaling over on that far side. Spurs do keep it in with Justin Edinburgh. Edinburgh's ball forward over the left-hand side to Carr. Play forward Dominguez will try and knock the ball back through the midfield. Flicked away by Keane. Back towards Peter Schmeichel, who side puts it calmly down towards Dennis Irwin on this near touchline. And Irwin just skips around the late challenge from Anderson. Play will continue with Irwin staying on his feet, and a round of applause from Mr. Stapleton for that. Dennis Irwin doing well there. Good refereeing as well, and the ball's out of play. for a foul, which will be for a free throw, which will be taken by Spurs. But Darren Anderson gets a yellow card for that change on Owen on this near touchline before the throw is taken. And a goal at Anfield. Liverpool 3, Wimbledon 0. Paul Ince scoring for Liverpool, and here it's 2-1 to United.
Yeah, at the moment that they are coasting it a little bit, but you always feel that at any time they just step the pace up. They're getting good protection in the front positions. I think that what's happening, that when they do that, they put the ball and get the ball very easy, much easier than in the first half against Tottenham.
An initial mistake in the midfield by David Beckham almost gave Spurs a sniff of being able to bring forward. Goal at Highbury. Arsenal have scored against Villa, and Kanu has scored it. Arsenal 1, Villa 0 at Highbury from a corner, and Kanu scoring the goal. 1-0 to Arsenal. 2-1 United lead here, and that's enough at the moment. The ball played forward out towards the left-hand side. Here's Dominguez. Dominguez onto his left foot. Low ball in towards the near post. Spiced of handball by David May, and then Everson just couldn't pick the ball up inside the 6-yard box to take a shot. Schmeichel made the save, and was that handball by May inside the box?
Very suspiciously. It looked like it. Didn't look deliberate, but it did hit his hand. The ball did fall for Everson, but he couldn't get any power on it. But now it's vital that United go ahead and try and get this third goal and make it, beyond Tottenham's reach, because while it's still 2-1, they still got a chance of pulling it back.
Arsenal 1, Villa 0, United 2, Spurs 1. Ball out of play. Throw will be taken by Beckham on that far touchline. We played 19 minutes into the second half, and 26 minutes separate United from the title. Here's Cole turning inside the penalty area. Right-hand side. Plays the ball back across for York. Overhead kick onto the roof of the net. It would have been a picture book goal to seal the title. In the end, it's just a goal kick to Tottenham.
Yeah, it was fantastic touch, wasn't it, by Dwight York? It was back to goal. Control it in one touch and then flicked it. I mean, it was a little bit just over the bar, but I don't know whether it would have beaten the keeper. He probably decided that it was too high. He didn't try to make the save, but spectacular effort.
Walker, right-footed from the edge of his 6-yard box. 20 minutes into the second half, and it's 2-1 to United. Arsenal leading 1-0. Blackburn 1-1 at Newcastle. Liverpool 3 up at home to Wimbledon. Everton late losing at Southampton, which means that the Saints are staying up at the moment. Charlton 0-0 at the bottom, the other game. But importantly at the top, both sides, United and Arsenal winning, although United have come from behind. They hit the post early on. Ferdinand put Spurs ahead, but then goals either side of half-time in the last 2 minutes and first 3 minutes of the second half. Beckham and Cole with the goals. And again, the cries from the Spurs fans have come on Villa. Anderson to take the free kick, and it's fully 38 yards outside the Manchester United penalty area. Anderson, right-footed, flicks it over the top. Ferdinand tries to roll his marker, can't do so. Bounces for Freund, right-footed, lacked conviction, his shot. And Schmeichel, he's let the ball roll towards his goal. There's no danger of that ever going into the net. But he just took step back after step back and eventually picked it up about 2 yards outside his goal. Be clear, right-footed by Peter Schmeichel. Goal at Highfield Road. Coventry 1, Leeds United 1. John Aloisi equalising for Coventry City. Aloisi's 22nd goal of the season. 1-1 there at Highfield Road. 2-1 United lead here. Beckham's right-footed ball inside the penalty area. Headed away by Sol Campbell. Gary Neville will pick it up in the right-back position and thinks about knocking it all the way back towards Peter Schmeichel. Then lays it across the defence towards David May. May down towards Dennis Irwin on this near touchline. 24 minutes for United to hold on to win the title. High ball played for by Irwin. Goes behind Curran out of play. So we'll go to Highbury, Arsenal, Villa. Andy Cheel.
It's Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0. The goal coming just seconds ago from Kanu, who's only been on the field as a substitute for a couple of minutes. Petit took the latest of a long series of corners that he's taken all the way through this match. Villa couldn't clear it. The defence was all over the place. The ball fell to Kanu in the 6-yard box, and he had absolutely no problem knocking it past Michael Oakes in the Villa goal. Oakes has been busy from the start of this game right the way through to when he picked the ball out of the net just a couple of minutes ago. Oakes kept his side in the game with a save from Anelka, who's been largely anonymous, and he's been substituted, in fact. Anelka got in a shot from close range, plenty of power in the shot, but the Villa keeper got both hands to it and parried away. But he was absolutely helpless to keep out that right foot shot from about 4 yards from Kanu, and it's Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0.
Andy Cole right inside of the penalty area, does well. Cole is it back for goal, just wide. A cross shot bobbling across the face of goal. It beat Walker, beat Steve Carr on the line, and bobbled just the wrong side of the post.
And again, doesn't look like Paul Scholes going to get a goal today. He's had so many shots and efforts, and the keeper wasn't even there on that occasion. But he scuppered it again, and it's gone just It bounced 3-4 times before it went past the post. It just looked like it was going to nestle in the corner, but it went agonisingly past. And you know, do they need that goal now?
It's 2-0 now. Chelsea leading at Stamford Bridge against Derby County. Gianluca Vialli's 10th goal of the season, but his first in the league. The other 9 obviously all in the cup. The free kick which will be taken by United as Ferdinand is flagged offside on this near touchline. Schmeichel will take it, and we're exactly midway through the second half. 67.5 minutes gone. 22.5 minutes to go. Manchester United 2, Spurs 1. Feeling nervous, Frank?
No, I'm not. I just think that the pace of the game has dropped a little bit, but you know, with Arsenal getting the goal, I think that's it just kind of gives it more significance for United to get this.
As Giggs nods it down inside the penalty area, and York went up. Brick Campbell took a heavy fall, and Walker will be able to trot outside his 6-yard box to pick it up. And the time ticks down very slowly, but still very steadily. United leading Spurs by 2-1, live on Century 105, your local Northwest Ford dealer, and on the World Wide Web, of course, www.manutd.com, www.manunited.com, as we bring you every Manchester United domestic game live round the world. And hello to all of you exiles United fans listening round the world, to your side. Hopefully, touch wood as I say it, clinch the FA Carling Premiership for the 5th time in 7 years, particularly all you old exiles out on the west coast of the States. Oh no, listen in your numbers. Ball through the midfield. Scholes out towards Keane. Keane left-footed through the midfield towards York. York just lets the ball bounce in front of him. Down towards Keane once more. Just over 20 minutes to go. 2-1 to United. Arsenal a goal up. Scholes out towards the right-hand side. Gary Neville will get there before Dominguez. Nicky Butt prepares to come on for the Reds. Down towards his near touchline. Scholes through the midfield. Laid back by Beckham towards David May. Right footed over the top from May. Out towards the right-hand touchline for Gary Neville. Neville will sprint after it and keep it in. First time ball over the top. Hit Edinburgh. And out of play for United's first corner of the second half. Their 8th of the game.
Yeah, that was a nice controlled pass and movement. You know, plenty of patience. And then one player makes a break, and they just get in behind the defence, and that's great, good control play from United. As I say, you can do that much easier if you're 3-1 up.
Scholes will come off. Nicky Butt is the man that comes on for United with just over 20 minutes to go.
Well, I think that's Alex reinforcing the midfield and saying, right, let's see, you know, rather than just sit back and think, but Nicky Butt is more of a defensive midfield player than Paul Scholes, and he's thinking, well, we can still play with him in there, but also we've got our insurance.
And Spurs will make a substitution as well. A centre-half for a centre-half. John Scales comes out of the fray. And youngster Luke Young, who made his home debut against Manchester United earlier this season in the 2-2 draw, the 19-year-old will come on to replace the slightly more veteran John Scales, who trots off. Scales, having played only 32 games for Tottenham, and number 32, Luke Young, comes on to replace him as sprints inside the centre-half. The Essex boy, the teenager, making a first appearance for him at Old Trafford. In comes the corner towards the edge of the penalty area, knocked away by Sherwood. It bounced behind every United player. Gary Neville helps it out towards the far touchline and pick it up by David Beckham. Beckham onto his left foot, left-footed cross. Hits the marker on the far touchline. We'll try and bring it away. It was Anderton doing the spade work on the far side, and now we've hit it right-footed over the top, looking for Dominguez, who chests it down, gets it past Dennis Irwin out towards the far side, and Gary Neville recovers. Goal at the Dell. Southampton 2. Everton 0. Marian Pahars scores again. Southampton surely save another extraordinary escape act. Their 3rd successive win coming right at the end of the season. Southampton 2, Everton 0, and the Saints are staying up. Steve Schmeichel away to our right-hand side. Spoons the ball up inside the penalty area and gets it clear. Right-footed. Gary Neville flicks it on. Out towards the right-hand touchline. We're brought forward by Dominguez. On the left-hand side for Tottenham. Ferdinand ahead of him. Everson ahead of him as well. The foot comes in from Manchester United's David Beckham out towards Cole. Cole's got York out towards the far touchline, but the substitute couldn't find him. Young will try and bring it away. Edinburgh's out on that far side as well. And the challenge flies in somewhat from David Beckham, but he picks Edinburgh up very sportingly with free kick, which will be taken by Edinburgh on that far side. 18.5 minutes to go. United 2, Spurs 1.
Yeah, I'd like to see the United a bit more forceful going forward. You know, the ball's getting up there, and the midfield are not committing themselves. And you know, and while it's 2-1, as I said, that's a worrying scoreline, but at the same time, they are dominating the match. And Tottenham really, they don't look, you know, if Tottenham's season was on this, you know, I think the manager would be looking for a bit more than they're showing today. But nevertheless, it suits United.
Only 4 away wins in 18 games for Spurs this season. They won at Charlton, Forest, Derby and Everton. They haven't beaten any side in the top 6 away from home. They did win at Liverpool, of course, in the Cup earlier this season as Dominguez plays a long ball in from the left-hand side, but far too long for Anderson, who's running at the far post. Straight play for throw to be taken on this near touchline by United. These are the scores in the Premiership as they stand. Arsenal 1, Villa 0. Charlton, Sheffield Wednesday 0-0. Chelsea 2, Derby 0. Babiyar and Vialli. Coventry 1, Leeds 1. Vinard for Leeds, Aloisi for Coventry. Liverpool 3 up at home to Wimbledon. United 2-1 up at home to Tottenham here. Newcastle 1, Blackburn 1. Forest Leicester's 0-0. Southampton 2, Everton 0. They're staying up, Southampton. West Ham 2, Middlesbrough 0. Giggs plays the ball forward. Andy Cole, left-hand side. Sprints towards the edge of the penalty area. Cole has got Giggs in the centre. He's got Beckham in the centre as well. Cole lays it through the midfield towards Butt. Back towards Cole. Cole past Nicky Butt behind him towards Keane. Keane with Gary Neville out on the far touchline indicating that he should play it back towards David May. Keane belatedly does that and challenged by Les Ferdinand. Now the ball goes out towards Gary Neville and Fergie off the bench just looking a little bit nervy. Trots back towards this near touchline and takes his place again on the bench alongside Steve McLaren. The ball back with Gary Neville on the far touchline, laid back towards Peter Schmeichel. Schmeichel brings the ball outside his own penalty area and brings the ball forward onto his right foot. 2-1 United leading Tottenham. 1-0 Arsenal leading Villa, but Tottenham having taken the lead here, conceding those 2 goals. United in the driving seat. They know that if they hold it, the title is theirs. All they've got to do is stop Tottenham scoring in the next 16.5 minutes, and United have won the title. And that'll do. Everson's back header towards Luke Young, picked up by Cole. Cole turning back behind Nicky Butt. Everson will slide in to try and make amends, and Butt's faced with no alternative but to lay the ball back to Peter Schmeichel away to our right-hand side, and he gets it clear, right-footed to Schmeichel. High ball over the top, coming across from left back. Edinburgh heads it clear. Butt nods it down for Beckham. Beckham onto his right foot, back towards Keane. Keane bringing it forward once more for United. Down towards this near touchline for Dennis Irwin. Irwin onto his left foot. Cole doesn't make a run, just trudges towards the edge of the penalty area. Giggs has it, forced back towards the halfway line by Carr. Johnson will pick it up and lay back towards Peter Schmeichel. Goal at West Ham at Upton Park. West Ham 3, Middlesbrough 0. Now Trevor Sinclair with that goal. And a goal at the City Ground. Forest lead Leicester by 1-0. Chris Bart Williams scoring that. And at Highfield Road, Coventry 2, Leeds 1. Paul Telfer scoring, and Leeds ending their season on a low, perhaps. Ball out of play for throw to be taken on this near side. United seemingly ending their league season on a high. 2 games to come, of course, next Saturday, and then in 10 days' time out in Spain against Bayern Munich in the European Cup final. Ball played forward. Keane flicks it back towards Ronnie Johnson. Not cleared by Johnson on this near touchline. Sherwood plays the ball back towards Sol Campbell. Sol Campbell inside the centre circle. Still Arsenal leading 1-0. Campbell brings the ball over the halfway line onto his right foot. Just played the ball forward. No one made a run from Dominguez, was miles away. He was the intended target. It's out of play for another United throw on that far touchline. 15 minutes to go. Manchester United 2, Tottenham 1. And if only those 14 minutes were passed in the blink of an eye.
Now, who's getting nervous, Jim?
You are. I'm just trying to put you out of your misery as Everson scored offside.
No, I'm not getting nervous. It's just the game has kind of died a little bit. And as I say, Tottenham have got nothing really to play for, but United haven't. United are always more exciting and the better, and they dominate games when they're pushing forward to try and get another goal. And at the moment, they just seem happy enough to sit on it as well.
Pete Schmeichel outside his penalty area will get it clear right-footed from about 10 yards outside the box. Knocks it right-footed over the halfway line down towards Ryan Giggs, who came to meet it, let the ball bounce, and they headed it back into a central position for Cole. Challenged on this near touchline by Anderson, and it's flicked down towards Carr. And Carr on this near side turns inside Nicky Butt. So they had a touch that's coming on. Carr spears it out towards the far touchline, where Dominguez just flicks it off behind Edinburgh, who's got to retrace his run and lays the ball square towards Campbell. Play concentrated deep inside the Tottenham half. It's played forward down towards this near touchline for Tim Sherwood to bring forward. Sherwood with Ferdinand making a run ahead of him. Down towards Anderson. Anderson's got Carr sprinting forward on the right-hand side. Laid short towards Luke Young. Young's right-footed ball forward. Ferdinand's little layout to Steve Carr. Carr to his right foot. Everson at the near post. May gets it high up in the air to get it away. Giggs will be able to volley it away left-footed and out of harm's way. And Sol Campbell will pick it up inside the centre circle and flick it forward towards Tim Sherwood. Sherwood down towards this near touchline. That's a magnificent ball from Sherwood. 10 yards behind Steve Carr and straight out for the throw.
Yeah, he wasn't under pressure either. He just lifted his head, was too casual. But suppose they're going to make another substitution.
And the man that's coming on this near touchline is Andy Sinton. And the man that's coming off is Jose Dominguez, who only came on early on to replace Davy Ginola, so the sub being subbed, Sinton coming on for his last appearance of the season, and Dominguez looks across. What, me? Yes, you, Jose. Off he comes, son. Andy Sinton will come on to replace him with 13 minutes to go.
Maybe he's going to say no way.
Hey! I just thought I'd tee that one up for you.
No, you didn't.
Let's go to Highbury. Arsenal against Aston Villa. Andy Cheel.
The tension at Highbury is scarcely believable. It is a surreal atmosphere as Paul Merson fires in a right-foot shot, and that could so nearly have taken the championship away from his old Arsenal club as Paul Merson drove in the shot from the edge of the area. But the vocal support for Arsenal has been so quiet in this second half, it is almost surreal. But as I look round Highbury, the reason is clear. Radios on everyone's head as they concentrate so intensely on what they're hearing that they cannot really give their vocal support to the club, to the side that so desperately needs it. That Kanu goal has given them hope, but that hope is running out as time runs out at Highbury. It's still Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0.
Manchester United 2, Spurs 1 here, but it will only take one Tottenham equalising goal to take the title back to Arsenal. As it stands at the moment, although let's be honest about it, there's been very little sign of a Tottenham goal. Right-hand side, York for United, who lead 2-1, bring it forward on the right-hand side. Can United get that cushion? Beckham's ball inside the penalty area, knocked away by Sherwood, who caught David May actually with a stray elbow, very unintentional, and May back to his feet a few seconds ago, but need a little bit of treatment. Manchester United have their second corner in the second half, their ninth of the game, which will be taken on that far side and be taken by Beckham. Scorer of the first United goal, Cole adding the goal that's going to win United the title, so it seems. In it comes, right-footed, a high ball inside the penalty area. Jonsson's header over the bar.
Yeah, he was always under pressure. He was heading for more than 12 yards out, and the header ended up drifted past the top corner. It didn't actually trouble the goalkeeper, but as I said, I didn't really think there was any belief in the other players in that occasion. They didn't really think it was going in there then. They started to make their way back towards the edge of the box as soon as the thing went past the post.
Sorry, Frank, no substitution will be made here, the final one as far as United are concerned, and Ryan Giggs comes off. His afternoon's work done, 18 minutes gone, and he's been replaced by Phil Neville for the last 10.
Well, obviously he's still making his way back after injury, and again that reinforces the midfield. I should say that there won't be too many times we'll see him marauding up that left-hand side like Ryan Giggs does, but still got Beckham on the other side, and obviously Cole and York up front.
Midfield 4 now of Beckham, Keane, Butt and Phil Neville playing wide on the left-hand side in front of Dennis Irwin. Tottenham have it on that far touchline. High ball chipped over the top, headed away by David May before it got to Ferdinand and brought forward once more on the left-hand side by the dangerous Sinton. Cleared by Keane. Good ball as well through the midfield, and Nicky Butt can bring it forward. But just 15 yards inside his own half. Lays it short for Beckham. Beckham's got Keane outside and towards the right-hand side. But lost his balance as he laid it off. Spurs bring it forward once more. Nervy stuff again. The foot comes in from Keane. And he's caught Tim Sherwood late, and it's a free kick which will be taken by Tottenham 12 yards outside the box left of centre.
Well, look, there was Nicky Butt in the end give a good possession away when the break was on this side. Phil Neville was running away, and he was just looking for a little bit of space, and he just should have played it out here, and they'd have kept good possession without any pressure.
Sherwood will take the free kick from that far touchline. Bent in right foot, in fact, by Anderson in the end. Everson goes up for it. The ball hit his arm. Bounces down this near touchline for Young. Young will bring it in 2 yards in from the right-hand side. He's looking up for options, panicking a little. He lays it back inside his own half for Carr. Goal at Charlton. Charlton 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Danny Sonner for Sheffield Wednesday, and Charlton, as has been inevitable all season, have been relegated surely. Southampton 2-0 up. The ball through the midfield. Everson on this near touchline. The ball will go towards Peter Schmeichel's goal, but pushed by Everson on David May gives a free kick. Manchester United's way on the edge of the box, and they're 8.5 minutes away from winning the title.
Well, is there any reason the crowd are getting a little bit nervous? But I think that it was a good spot by the referee. Instead, there's a bit of tension in the air, and would you expect 8 minutes on the champions? So the best way is to just play normal and get that ball forward and try and get another goal.
Ball played forward by Schmeichel. Little chest down by Justin Edinburgh. Finds its way through to Ian Walker, who's in quite irrepressible mood. For 10 minutes in the first half and a 5-minute spell in the second half, he just looked unbeatable. May out towards the far touchline. Gary Neville will flick the ball forward. A high right-footed ball over the top. He's chased by Cole. Campbell on the end of it. His header just gets over Andy Cole and finds his goalkeeper. And I mean just. Carr on this near touchline, lays it short for Young. 8 minutes to go. 2-1 to United, holding on to a 2-1 lead. Spurs not creating many chances. The only real sniff that Spurs have had in the second half was a suspicion of handball against David May. The referee didn't want to know about a penalty. Far touchline, play forward again by Tottenham, then chip back over the top after Simpson was beaten. The high ball forward will be picked up by Ian Walker away to our left-hand side, and various Manchester United fans, ex-players, whatever, can't bear to watch. Mr. Stapleton, not more calm, knows that destiny is going to take the title to Old Trafford, and again, being superstitious, I have to touch a little bit of wood and say that. Ball play forward through the midfield, down towards this near touchline. Carr will pick it up, 10 yards in from the right-hand side, lays the ball back, or thought about laying it back towards the edge of the penalty area, flicked it away. Anderton with a left-footed ball, jinked back towards the edge of the penalty area, knocked back by Luke Young, picked up by Walker away to our left-hand side. 7 to go, 2-1 to United, and the championship is coming back to Manchester. The ball will be played forward by Freund. Freund to Sherwood. Sherwood loses out. Here's Nicky Butt. Forward for Cole. Cole running at Young, edge of the penalty. He's beaten him. Great ball forward for Nicky Butt. Right footed off the outside of the stanchion and away for a goal kick.
Well, that was a chance. But Nicky Butt knows he never even hit anywhere near properly. Hit that with his shin and completely wide, and maybe the tension is getting to some of the players as well. But that was well worked there. Nicky Butt initially won the ball, slipped it to Andy Cole, came inside Young and slipped the return pass. But as I say, he shinned it. Terrible strike, but they're still in charge, United, and as long as they keep cool, they have it.
6.5 minutes. They've got to hold on, and they've won it. All they've got to do is not win, not concede a goal, and they've won the title. And the Spurs fans delighting in singing an anti-Arsenal song away to our right-hand side, and it is factually correct, that song, although it is far too rude to actually be broadcast. Down towards this near touchline, but to Cole. Cole through the midfield to Keane. Keane out towards the right-hand side has got York. Keane knocks it forward for Butt. Butt back towards Irwin. Irwin to Phil Neville. Phil Neville down towards the left-hand side. Caught by Anderson. Ball out of play. Throw will be taken by Spurs. Anderson already with one yellow card for a foul on Dennis Irwin, who just trots back as Keane heads the ball back over the halfway line. And the referee spots a free kick, this time for Ferdinand, backing into Roy Keane. Word on Graham Hall's performance this afternoon, the referee.
I thought he's been okay. There's been one or two contentious things, as we always get. I thought he's had a good game. And now the crowd are getting behind the team.
5.5 minutes to go. United champions elect, but only elect at the moment. Irwin, not the ball forward from this near touchline, right footed towards the edge of the penalty area. York goes up for it. A little bit of a push on Edinburgh. Play continues with Sherwood heading it away. Everson drops deep and knocked away out towards the far touchline by Gary Neville. Young will chase out on that far side. Edinburgh was beaten by York. It's out of play for the throw to be taken on that far side. Still Arsenal lead Villa 1-0. United 2-1 up at home to Tottenham, and Southampton staying up at Charlton's expense. The ball thrown forward at the far side. Laid short towards that far touchline. York went in very bravely on that far side. The Edinburgh clearance at that far touchline goes out for the throw to be taken over on that far side by Manchester United. 4.5 minutes to go. Manchester United 2, Tottenham 1. And Andy Cole's goal 3 minutes into the second half looks like it's the one that's brought the title back to the north. Through the midfield, Beckham heads it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Tottenham will bring it down by Luke Young's right boot towards his near touchline for Steve Carr. Carr forward for Anderson. Anderson's ornate little flick off. Through the midfield for Freund. Of course, if Tottenham score, it's all over for United. Out towards the left-hand side. Tottenham bring it forward, right-footed. High ball over the top. Everson goes across. Nodded down by David May. Roy Keane's high up and under. Still Arsenal leading Villa 1-0. Edge of the penalty area. Campbell on the end of it. Nods it down. Will be booted forward, left-footed by Justin Edinburgh. Brought down by Keane. Keane towards Phil Neville. Phil Neville down towards his near touchline. Another goal at Chelsea. Chelsea 2, Derby 1. And Benito Carbone has pulled one back on this near touch. Confirmation of that scorer for Derby County. Carbonari, should I say. It's been a long season. Carbonari scoring for Derby County, but it will be no more than consolation at the end of their season. Derby 2-1 down to Chelsea. Here it's 2-1 to United. High ball played over the top. One of the Tottenham players just picks himself up a little bit gingerly on this near touchline. It's Tim Sherwood. And Spurs away to our left-hand side. Take the throw back towards Ian Walker. 3 minutes to hold on. United 2, Spurs 1. Walker brings the ball outside the penalty area. 0161400 0000, the number that gets you through to Frank Stapleton and myself, Jim Proudfoot here at Old Trafford. Hopefully, we'll be bringing you the celebration party, and we want you to contribute. 0161 400 0000. The lines are open now. Schmeichel brings the ball outside his penalty area. 3 minutes to go. 2-1 to United.
Jim, you're counting down the minutes just to let it happen. I know there isn't a lot of play, a lot happening on the field, but United have just reinforced the team now. David Beckham is playing deeper in the middle of the park, and Dwight York has drifted over onto the right-hand side, and they're more or less letting the Tottenham centre-backs have the ball and just getting back behind it.
2.5 minutes to go, and it's 2-1 to Manchester United. Walker, right-footed, hits the ball over the top. Little flick on, intended by Ferdinand to find Stefan Everson. Will be picked up away to our right-hand side by Peter Schmeichel. Schmeichel threatens to kick it out of his hands, and only now picks it up when Everson makes a real token gesture, putting him under pressure. Bounces it once. Peter Schmeichel trots outside. Everson makes no attempt whatsoever to get in the way of that clearance. He just tried to get out of the way of it. Ball down by Cole. Flicked off towards Phil Neville on this near touchline. 2 minutes to go. 2-1 to United. Phil Neville on this near side. Takes it down towards the corner flag. Time delaying tactics. Challenge on this near touchline. Still Phil Neville with it. Still trying to hold off Anderson's challenge, but Anderson will come away with the ball. Referee says it will be a free kick for a foul by Phil Neville on Darren Anderson on this near touchline. Hit forward long, right-footed. High ball over the halfway line. It's Gary Neville. Wrestles with Stefan Everson. The ball beats them both, and David May will pick it up and lays it back towards Peter Schmeichel away to our right-hand side. And Schmeichel will kick the ball outside the penalty area to Keane. Manchester United 2, Tottenham 1. Good enough for United to win the title, providing they can hold on for the last 90 seconds. Carr, in this near touchline, through the midfield towards Anderson. Anderson, right-footed ball, chips over the top. Sherwood. Saw Ronnie Johnson knock it away. Down towards this near touchline. Played for by Dennis Irwin. Dennis Irwin to Phil Neville. The younger Neville brother. Great ball over the top for goal! But the flag is up on the far side, and it will be a free kick which will be taken by Tottenham 15 yards outside the penalty area.
It was a great run by Andy Cole. He came and checked, but I don't think Phil Neville was actually ready to play the ball. By the time he did play, Andy Cole got behind the defence, but he was offside.
Walker to take the free kick. Tottenham flood everybody forward. Arsenal lead 1-0. It's 2-1 here to United. High ball played forward by Spurs. Header inside the penalty area. Anderson goes up for it. Gary Neville brings it away. Keane is there. Down towards the corner flag. Phil Neville whack it clear. Arsenal have beaten Villa by 1-0. The Spurs just have to score to deny United the title. United just have to hold on. And Roy Keane gets one of the biggest cheers of the day, whacking it right-footed 60 yards forward. Ian Walker, right-footed, returns it. The offside flag is up on this near touchline, but play will continue. United on the break. York on the right-hand touchline. Forces it wide out towards the far touchline. Sol Campbell goes with him. Laid back by York, past Beckham. Out towards the right-hand touchline. Blackburn have got a draw at Newcastle. 1-1 up there. Beckham, 5 yards inside his own half. Right-footed, chipped over the top. York will chase it. The ball goes out of play for a Tottenham throw.
Yeah, a lot of tension there. It's 2 minutes. 2 minutes extra time. I'm just surprised. When did that come? We haven't, apart from the substitution, doesn't know how the trainers on in the second half or the physiotherapists.
That's Uriah Rennie, a man who not has a sense of destiny, but certainly has a sense of the dramatic about him and everything he does. Ball played forward towards this near touchline. Ferdinand's lost out. Played forward by Dennis Irwin. The United fans singing their side home. 30 seconds of those 2 minutes already added on. Live on Century 105 with your local Northwest Ford dealer. Manchester United 2. Tottenham Hotspur 1. Beckham and Cole scoring for United either side of the break after Les Ferdinand put Spurs ahead. Play forward by Sol Campbell. Gary Neville hits it away through the midfield. Anderson, Ferdinand, Phil Neville sticks his foot in, but hits it back towards his own goal, and Carr picks it up. Right-hand side, trying to get past Dennis Irwin, whose shoulder checked him to the ground. He felt he played the ball, did Dennis. There's a free kick which will be taken by Spurs. 60 seconds into injury time, 60 seconds to go, and 5 yards into the right-hand touchline. Anderson to take it, they score now. Arsenal have won the title. Anderson to play it in from this right-hand side. Ferdinand in the centre, a right-footed outswing. Campbell goes up for it, can't get anything on it. Then Johnson half gets it clear, knocked away out on that far touchline. Gary Neville off his man on the far touchline of Sinton, and out of play for a throw, which will be taken on that far touchline, but not before a bit of treatment's been dished out. One of the United players down, it was Ronnie Johnson, got a knock to the head and tried to get up, saying I don't need treatment, so the 2 minutes will tick down all the quicker, but he's going to need treatment, and that's going to just prolong the agony for the Manchester United fans.
Well, you can understand why the players actually Peter Michael picked him up off the floor and said, come on, get on with it. if the game continues, United have good possession. I know that the referee will always add those extra few seconds on. They don't want to bring more time into it. And I think that's what they will do. Come on, just get up, but there's a Tottenham player injured as well. It's Anderson on this side.
Tony Lennon, the Spurs physio, has a look at Darren Anderson, and Ronnie Johnson has received his treatment. Dave Farrer comes off, and the approach we take on the far touchline. 2.5 minutes of injury time play. United 2, Tottenham 1. And Gary Neville thought about throwing the ball back towards Peter Schmeichel. He will, I'm sure, launch it upfield, get it away from goal. Referee Graham Poll looks at his watch. Play continues. Flicked on by York to Cole. Right-hand side. Campbell comes across, out of play. Tottenham have a throw on that far touchline, but deep inside their own half. Campbell just picks the ball up on the edge of the box. Justin Edinburgh throws it to him. Campbell knocks it forward along right-footed ball. 404. Time whistle goes. Manchester United are the Premier League champions. They beaten Tottenham by 2 goals to 1. And for the 5th time in 7 years, Manchester United clinched the FA Carling Premiership title. Les Ferdinand put Spurs ahead, but David Beckham and former Arsenal apprentice Andy Cole got the goals to give United another historic win. They've won the title by a point. 79 points, enough to give Manchester United a title. The 12th time they've been crowned Kings of England. Fergie runs on the pitch, arms outstretched, and the first man he runs over to is Roy Keane. Pats him on the head. A hug for David Beckham scored the first goal. Old Trafford erupting into unfrenzied delight. Manchester United 2, Spurs 1.
Century Sport with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
Manchester United, the champions, Frank Stapleton.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And no matter what they say, it doesn't matter what's gone through the season. The team at the top of the league are the best one, are the best team, and they deserve to win it because they've got more points than anybody else. But what a fantastic atmosphere inside the stadium. Well, United have played some fantastic stuff this year. And the first part of the treble is now on, and fantastic atmosphere, as I said, to take into the cup final next week. But all the players that are involved out there, all the ones who've contributed through the season. But there's been some great heroes all through the team this year. But it's been a real squad effort. And as you say, you just got to listen to it and savour this moment.
Gary Neville, Nicky Butt come down towards this near touchline. Phil Neville trots over and hugs Teddy Sheringham who played his part today. And how appropriate that Andy Cole, a former Arsenal man, who scored the goal that's won United the title.
Well, that's one of the ironies of the game these days. Players who previous clubs, but to actually score after he's just come on. He's only a couple of minutes on the pitch and he scored the goal,
And a plane flies over the north stand. Behind it a message that says MUFC, Carling champions 98-99. Manchester United are the champions of the Premier League, beating Spurs by 2 goals to 1 away from David Beckham towards girlfriend Victoria, no doubt, in this main stand. Dwight York is there. Peter Schmeichel with a hug for Phil Neville. Andy Cole, the scorer of the goal. Fergie on the pitch looking proud as punch. He said that in his 13 years, nothing would give him greater pleasure. And I'll give him a bit of poetic license where he says nothing will give him greater pleasure. But the winning the title in front of the United fans here at Old Trafford. The first time that United have done that in the Premiership. The previous 4 times they've inherited it 3 times and won it at Middlesbrough once. But now they've done it here at Old Trafford in front of their own fans. Fergie with his hands above his head leads his players down away to our left-hand side. Camera on Fergie as you'd expect, he goes off the pitch, and the man is absolutely elated.
Of course he is, and it's really on for them to win these other two competitions coming up. I think this was always going to be the most difficult one, and now it's just one-off games, one-off cup competitions. But United really have deserved to win the league because they've played some great stuff. And as we already said, they've got 1 point more than Arsenal, and deservedly are the champions.
Manchester United's 2-1 victory here, rendering Arsenal's nervy 1-0 win totally irrelevant against Aston Villa down at Highbury. The United players go off the field of play, down the tunnel just temporarily away to our left-hand side. As Leeds equalise very, very late on at Coventry, 2-2, it's finished at Highfield Road. and we'll go to a break, and then we'll be back for the trophy presentation and all the full-time sports.
Century 105 Sports. So good, you'll think you're there with your local Northwest Ford dealer.
What was unusual about the crowd at Main Road yesterday afternoon?
Ron, I think there's something you should know. What's that, Bob? The match has been called off.
The Fiesta Z-Tech. Advanced enjoyment from your Northwest Ford dealer.
The Tower Bay Island Resort invites you to experience the holiday of a lifetime once you've checked in.
This is such a beautiful old hotel.
It'll outlive you, I'm sure. And taken in the sights.
I've never seen a dead body before. Yeah, get used to it.
You won't be able to tear yourself away.
Phone lines are down, the boats are gone, and there's no way off this island.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, Brandy.
I'm not gonna die on this island. Do you hear me?
I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. At cinemas everywhere now, rated 18. This time, no one gets off the hook.
John here has just realised that the football season is finishing. Well, it is for him anyway. He doesn't support Manchester United.
Giggs running at Arsenal, still Ryan Giggs through Adams and Keogh. Oh, he's
Don't miss the build-up to both Man United finals in the final countdown. A 48-page special dedicated to the club and free with Monday's Manchester Evening News. The Manchester Evening News, first to know.
All this week, you could win a superb holiday thanks to Travelocity.co.uk, the world's leading travel website, and Century 105. Listen as Morgan logs on to Travelocity, surfs around, and comes up with some superb weekend trips for you to win. How about Paris, Amsterdam, or Barcelona? Or even a fantastic family break to New York up for grabs. Tune in to win with Morgan every morning this week and go virtually anywhere with Travelocity.co.uk and Century 105.
At Main Road yesterday, there were more people there watching City's playoff match with Wigan on the big screen than were actually at the game.
Century 105 Sports. So good, you'll think you're there.
Manchester United are the champions of England. They've beaten Tottenham Hotspur by 2-1 to win the trophy for the 5th time in 7 years. The first time that they've clinched it here at Old Trafford, the 12th time that they've won the trophy in all, if you include the old First Division. And that fantastic singer that we had lifting the crowd before the game is now giving us the rendition of Barcelona. How poignant that. Of course, Wembley lies between here and Barcelona. But isn't it fantastic at the top? When one day you win the Carling Premiership title, next week you try and win the FA Cup, and then 4 days after that, you've got a chance of winning the European Cup. It's like playing Subbuteo at home with your mates, but this time it's for real.
Yeah, well, it is unbelievable, unprecedented in English game. And, you know, obviously, the Newcastle won't be wanting United to do it, and there'll be a lot of other clubs won't want United to do it. But certainly on the European front, I think that the whole country should be united in wanting United to get the success for English football's sake, not just because they are you know, they're one of their closest rivals. You know, the likes of Arsenal should be wanting United to do well in Europe, because we'll bring the game on the level in this country up.
Manchester United's players away to the left-hand side, still down in the tunnel. Flags are being brought out onto the pitch. One that says Carling champions on this near touchline. A massive red, white and black Manchester United flag, should I say, as opposed to a big red, white and black United fan. Plenty of those around, but not quite as big as this flag. On this near touchline it says, all the best in Barcelona from Carling. Big Manchester United badge on it as well. That's a nice touch from the sponsors of this. The best league in the world. Carling champions, there's another one out on the centre circle, which has been brought in. A whole phalanx of photographers comes across as well. And the presentation will be made very shortly. Red, white and black balloons all around this main stand here at Old Trafford. A fantastic sight. What does it mean as a player to win the title, Frank?
Well, I think it's in your own domestic league, I think it's the hardest thing to win. And I think, you know, it's a culmination of the consistency, you know, and you know, you win the cup, and that's a great feeling. But the cup competition can't measure really in real terms the Cup is all about the flash and, you know, great publicity, and it's a great day out at Wembley. But this is what it's all about. Winning the championship is what the whole thing is all about, because you've got to do it over a number of games, 38 games now, as it used to be 42. So I think over the long period of time, the best team comes out on the top, and I think that United have been the best team this year.
Were you ever in any doubt at all today that it was going to happen? You weren't, were you, really?
No, I always believed that United were going to be, they were going to come out. They were playing well enough. You know, there was plenty of effort. In fact, it was the best United have played since the Turin match. And it all came good on the day, and they've got the result that matters. I know there's a few nerves at the end, but why wouldn't it be with so much at stake? You know, and then what does that say to the people who said that United will win nothing this season?
So many times United have been to games this season where they've ground results out, and we've said that that's the mark of champions. That last gasp goal at Charlton.
Yep.
That goal from Ryan Giggs at Coventry with 10 minutes to go, when United have played pants all afternoon and they still got the win. And it's games like that that make occasions like this so worthwhile.
Yeah, that's right. And it's about winning, isn't it? It's about winning those games when you have off days. You know, they're going to lose games in the season, but it's when you have off days and you grind the result out, you get a goal against the run of play, whatever. And from there, that's where everything starts. And you just keep on going. And it's culminated into champions and being the champions.
Ball away to our left-hand side of the balloons, coming down. The players still waiting to come out onto the pitch. There's a big carpet been laid from an impromptu podium, which has been erected away to our left-hand side, and we'll just wait for the players to come out. While we're waiting, let's recap on all today's full-time scores. Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0. It doesn't matter. Charlton 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Charlton relegated. Chelsea 2, Derby 1. Coventry 2, Leeds 2. Liverpool 3, Wimbledon 0. Berger, Riedler and Ince. Manchester United 2, Spurs 1. Newcastle 1, Blackburn Rovers 1. Forest 1, Leicester 0. Southampton 2, Everton 0. Southampton survive again. West Ham 4, Middlesbrough 0. The most important one here at Old Trafford. Les Ferdinand's goal for Tottenham, putting the living fear into so many of the people here at Old Trafford, myself included. And David Beckham, 2 minutes before half-time, played in by Paul Scholes, took one touch, fired the ball in off the far post. 3 minutes into the second half, Andy Cole, former Arsenal man, lobbing the ball over Ian Walker. Manchester United 2-1 up, and they held on to the 2-1 lead. The players still down in the tunnel. The celebrations still continue, and there is the trophy, Frank. It's about 2.5 foot tall, gold on top, and the flag and ribbons around it indicate that Manchester United are the champions for the 1998-99 season, will go into the turn of the millennium as the kings of English football. Were there many times throughout the season that you thought they wouldn't win the title?
I think I was a bit worried when they went through that bit of a patch around the time when Sheffield Wednesday, when we went down to Hillsborough, and you know, Sheffield Wednesday beat them that day, and they never really competed. And then they went through a little bit of a difficult time. After that, they were grinding 1 or 2 results out without playing too well. And then all of a sudden, you know, we were looking at a team that the manager was putting out, and you're thinking, well, he's resting some people, and we were asking what was he thinking about? But it's all come through. Everything that he's done has been 100% right. And it's ended here today with United picking up the Carling Premiership, and 5 times, in 7 years. Absolutely phenomenal.
Far cry from earlier in the season. The Charity Shield, Arsenal beat United 3-0. We went down on that sunny September afternoon to Highbury, and United were very much second best. And I wondered then if they were ever going to be able to stop Arsenal winning the title again. But they have. They've done it in style, because they've only lost 2 subsequent games. That one at Sheffield Wednesday, here at home to Middlesbrough, and they went the rest of the season unbeaten in the league.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. And that would have been unbelievable if they'd have gone unbeaten to the end of the season and hadn't won the championship. Arsenal have had an unbelievable run, but United has been better, and that's why they've ended up winning the trophy, because their consistency has been a bit more than Arsenal. Arsenal didn't really get going until into December time, November, December time, when they started to go on their run, but it was too late. And obviously next season, Arsene Wenger will be looking to try and make sure that they get that consistency all the way through.
Your player of the season?
Dwight York, without doubt.
Why?
Well, I just think that he's been the difference for them this year. He's got the goals. His general link-up play has been brilliant. Roy Keane has been brilliant this year as well, and Jaap Stam. But I think the one that's made all the difference has been Yorkie, because he's got the goals, and you know, you talked about that goal at Charlton, how, you know, important that turns out to be. That those 3 points gives them the edge over everybody else, you know, and I think that's absolutely marvellous. And his consistency in his play as well. You know, he's only had a couple of bad games all the season.
Well, I've never heard 55,000 people murdered Tina Turner, but it's being done. Who cares? Manchester United, simply the best. Players out around Old Trafford. And I think any moment now, Fergie will lead the players out from away to our left-hand side, out to the tunnel. There's, well, I would imagine 3 dozen or maybe 30 photographers down on this near side, waiting for that picture, the picture when Roy Keane holds the trophy above his head. You look through the side, player by player, very, very few of them have disgraced themselves on any occasion this season. And it's a poignant last day in Old Trafford for Peter Schmeichel. 396 games he's played for Manchester United, and what a way to sign off in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant day for Peter Schmeichel. Maybe a little bit of a tear or two in his eye, but what a way to finish off your league career at Old Trafford.
Manchester United's players are still waiting for them to come out. Let's go to Highbury. Arsenal beating Villa this afternoon, but it all matters for nothing. Just before the presentation is made, in fact, just before we go to Arsenal, the United players are going to come out. And Old Trafford erupts as the Manchester United players come out from away to our left-hand side. Fireworks and glitter bombs come off from the roof of this main stand here at Old Trafford, and from the Stretford end away to our left-hand side. And the players, who look fresh as daisies, red shirts, white shorts, come out. The shirts outside the shorts in many cases, walking out, not somberly, but walking out trying to just value the occasion, because they know, so many of them have experienced it before, but they know that these are the moments that every professional footballer lives for. Roy Keane leads his players out, another wave from Beckham towards the crowd. Phil Neville nervously clapping his hands. But Ian Napier, the chief executive of Bass Brewers, gives Roy Keane the trophy. He lifts it above his head, and it shows that Manchester United are the kings of English football for 1998-99. Dave Richards, the chairman of the Premier League, takes Roy Keane by the hand. Dennis Irwin, medal round his neck, lifts the trophy as well. Irwin, more than 400 games for Manchester United. Gary Neville, the dependable right back, seldom scores, but seldom makes mistakes. Beckham, scorer, thanks to that divine piece of inspiration, the first goal today. David May, who's done so well coming into the side when he's been caught on in the late absences of the season. Philip Neville and Paul Scholes have played their part as well. Jaap Stam, my player of the year, after a torrid start in his United career, proving every doubter wrong. Ronnie Johnsen and Henning Berg, the 2 Norwegian defenders who've done so well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so many goals, 4 of them against United, 16 in total. Nicky Butt, always one of the less flamboyant players. England's Wes Brown lifts the trophy above his head in. Still, before his first full season, Giggs, the talisman, scored that magnificent FA Cup goal at Arsenal. Teddy Sheringham, who's dispelled that infernal song that every set of supporters sings about him, lifts it above his head with relish and grins, and lets the cameras take one more final shot of him. Ray van der Hau, always dependable, won 7 of the 8 games that they played this season, won every game he played in the league this season. Jesper Blomqvist, the Swede, not at his best. More to come from Jesper. Andy Cole, the man who scored the goal that's made all this possible with United lifting the trophy, lifts it above his head. 24 goals for Cole this season. And Frank's Player of the Year, the record signing, 29 goals, Dwight York. And the top comes off the trophy. And Dwight York, the man that never loses his top. gives the trophy to Peter Schmeichel, his last game at Old Trafford. And it ends with him lifting the trophy above his head. Flag around his shoulders, just falls to the floor. And he walks away with the trophy. Don't drop it, Peter. Away towards where the photograph is going to be taken. And the players wander away from having grouped up on the centre circle. And they now take their place behind what looks like a glorified bookmaker's board, with Carling champions 1998-99 above it. And beneath it, a giant can of Carling with champions 1998-99. Manchester United, the champagne flows, know that they have won the trophy the 5th time in 7 years, and their unseasoned, undoubted domination of English football at the end of the millennium again is highlighted by another magnificent day here at Old Trafford. And the United fans sing champions, champions. Fergie takes his place as well. And the United players, literally a picture as the photographers hustle to get the best shot. Peter Schmeichel in the centre with the trophy. What a fitting way for Manchester United's goalkeeping legend, the man who's broken records in the green shirt of United, more clean sheets than any other goalkeeper in Manchester United history, beating Alex Stepney's record. Stepney never won a league title for Manchester United. Schmeichel has won 5. And the players dancing up and down, delighted, euphoric, with a great sense of pride, and rightly so, because they have been the best team in English football in the second half of the decade. Today, they've beaten Spurs by 2-1. Manchester United are the kings of English football.
Century 105 Sports. So good, you'll think you're there with your local Northwest Ford dealer.